Jayhawk Conference. This is the first year where there is no limitation on number of out-of-staters, and there's no limitation on the number of full rides that these coaches can be given. I visited with Ryan Rhodes on Monday morning. Ryan told me, he said, Rusty, he said, this is by far the most talented team I've ever coached. But he said every coach in the league is going to say the same thing. So, Rob Greer, it ought to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of Division I talent wandering around on these football fields over the course of the next 10 or 12 weeks.
You know, Rusty, and there's so much excitement in junior college football, and some of that buzz, be it for the right or wrong reasons, is a program on Netflix called Independence U, and a lot of people have seen it.
Last Chance U.
What did I say?
Independence U.
Independence U.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, and you know, it's just got people talking about junior college football and the buzz surrounding it. And Ryan Rhodes, he thinks that he's got the best quarterbacks that he's had. There is no secret. The problem with Blue Dragon football the last 3 years has been at the quarterback position. I think we've had a championship defense a couple of times here over the last 5 years. The offense couldn't match it. He told me that he has 5 quarterbacks on this roster this year that are better than all but 2 quarterbacks that he has coached in now his 12th year at Hutchinson Community College, and we are really going to be focusing on the quarterback position.
And helping us focus on a lot of things this year will be Glenn Grunwald, who will be working down on the sidelines for us, doing sideline reports, courtesy of Jackson Meat. Let's check in with Glenn.
Yeah, it's going to be 82 degrees, or right around there, game time temperature when we kick off, and it's absolutely beautiful. Got a little wind, Rusty. You might be able to see those the flags kind of flittering over there out of the directly out of the south to the southwest, or a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect it a whole lot. But gorgeous night for football. Crowd kind of late arriving, but there's a steady stream of people coming in, so I think it's going to be a fun year.
And the day that started out with rain showers, most of the morning cloudy, has turned into a beautiful setting for football. As the sun is shining, the teams are on the field. Kickoff is right around the corner, and we'll be back with Blue Dragon Football 2018 version in 2 minutes.
Just as
deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me, Donna Pitzer, the bag lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
The Blue Dragons are decked out in my favorite uniforms, which see them pretty much blue from top to bottom except for white helmets with blue and red stripes and dazzling white numbers on the back. It makes it an easy uniform in which to identify players, and there are a lot of new faces that we're going to be talking about for the Blue Dragons this year. I made the statement to Rob a couple of minutes ago that if you take all the teams in this conference and all the full rides, all the out-of-staters that have been brought in, there may be as many as 70 or 75 of these kids that sometime in the course of the next couple of years will play Division I football. It is going to be a league that has a lot of stars. And right now, Blue Dragon fans are hoping that they will have a good portion of those stars wearing Blue Dragon uniforms. Blue Dragons will, I believe, receive the football. Wind, as Glenn pointed out, will be a bit of a factor, not a lot of one. The flag off to our left, not stretched straight out, kind of waving gently in a breeze. I'd estimate the wind maybe at 15 miles an hour, and blowing from southeast to northwest.
Definitely enough of a breeze, though, to affect the passing game at least a little bit.
And you will never see a prettier setting for a college football game. You know those days sometimes right after it rains and the sun breaks out through the clouds and the beams just dazzle everything. It's almost a surreal setting as these teams are ready to play football and get 2018 underway. I'm Rusty Hills, joined by Rob Dreher, Glenn Grunwald. We are thrilled that you decided to spend part of your Thursday evening with us.
Can you imagine right now the stomach churning? You've got goosebumps, butterflies. This is it. You've been working your tail off the entire summer, and once you got here to the college in what you call training camp, and this is it. It is time to get Blue Dragon football underway, and there's some high expectations going into this football season.
Jalen Irwin is back deep for the Dragons. He stands on the goal line. Dragons will work left to right as you listen. If you're more directionally oriented, the Dragons will work from north to south. Also back for Hutchinson, Khalil McClain and Desmond Jackson. Football teed up in a college game as usual at the 35-yard line, and the white-clad Panthers of Ellsworth, Iowa, ready to get this thing underway. The kicker has it teed up, and we are ready to play. Now, how about this for a name? Adiyan Muhammadagic.
Glad you're saying it.
Is a kicker for Ellsworth. A spinning kick, not particularly deep, taken at the 11-yard line, angling across the field out to the 15. Nice cut back to the 20, to the 25, and a nice return by Desmond Jackson out to the 30-yard line gives the Dragons pretty good field position for the opening drive of the brand-new football season.
Ali Shockley, number 3 on the tackle. Good special team effort there, but, hey, starting field position, 31-yard line. That is exactly what the Dragons would like, and we're about to see the first offense of series here in this season coming up.
Quarterback for the Dragons is Mason Shucker. He's a young man out of Searcy, Arkansas. 4.0 student in high school. Coach Rhodes said, I can't imagine why he wasn't recruited by a Division I program. Stands back in the spread, might have drawn the team offside, hands off, and they blow the play dead before it actually gets underway. And so it will be a penalty for encroachment on Ellsworth unless the Dragons moved, and evidently somebody in that offensive line did move. So the Dragons will open with a penalty. That'll set them back to their 26-yard line, where it'll be first down and 15.
Yeah, Glenn got the nerves. Folks are raring to go, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are. They're ready to go, and a little jump start there. Hate to see that happen already, but we'll see what happens.
Well, let's see if that changes the play call. It is a first and 15 at the 26-yard line, just underway. No score in this Jayhawk game. Quarterback takes a snap, hands off. Dragons trying to get to the edge, and nowhere to go whatsoever for Aaron Collins. And the 6-footer from Plant City, Florida, is run down for a big loss back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Dragon offensive line could not control the left side at all.
NC State transfer guys, and tough to go sideways in the Jayhawk Conference. Too much speed, too many athletes, and I mean, north-south, you got to figure that out quickly. And Dragons in a huge hole, 2nd and 23.
Back at their 18-yard line, Shucker back in the gun. Fumbles the snap and drops on top of it back at the 10-yard line.
Well, it's been a disastrous start. First play, you have a false start, 5 yards. Second play, running play, you lose another 7 yards. And then this time, the center can't get the quarterback the football. And I was watching in warm-ups, and they were having some low snaps, and that carried over here to the first part of the game.
And it is a 3rd and 30 situation for the Dragons as they are back at their 11-yard line.
Might want to just hand off here and see what you can get.
Again, a low snap, but the Dragons do get some positive yardage off the left side as they go back to Aaron Collins, and Collins able to get out close to the 20-yard line. They'll say a knee touched at the 19. Obvious punting situation on 4th down and long.
Well, Mr. Grunwald, that's not quite the start you wanted.
No, it's not, and it started with the penalty, and then you had, as you described, the bad snap and a bad run, and now you got to punt out of there. The field position is going to favor Ellsworth.
Tariq Young is back deep, and the Blue Dragons will need a good punt to get out of this situation.
And we had one player late getting on the field, so special teams causing a timeout to be taken.
That is amazing, too. The first game, you don't know that you're on the punt team. Let's take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
The Blue Dragon punter is Matt Jones. He's a big kid, 6'6", 284, got to be maybe the biggest punter in the conference from Omaha, Nebraska. And it'll be his job to salvage some field position for the Dragons as this punt comes from the 19-yard line. Good snap. Punt is off, not particularly deep, and bounces backwards and goes out of bounds on the Dragon side of the 50, out of bounds and somewhere near the Hutchinson 42-yard line. So outstanding field position for Ellsworth.
This is what they wanted, because with the coin toss to start the game, they won it. They said, we'll have Hutchinson start on offense first. I think it's easier to start defensively early in the year because there's so much nerves, and Hutchinson, a disastrous start on that opening series. Now the defense will need to settle in here a little bit.
Mark Wright is the quarterback for Ellsworth. He begins at the Hutchinson 42-yard line. The running back is Eric McArn. He's from Detroit, Michigan. Now the quarterback all by himself throws it out in the flat, delivers it low, incomplete.
Outstanding coverage. Had he caught the football, Caleb Bryce, a returner from last year, was going to be there to just blow that play up for either no gain or even a loss on the play. Good coverage by 37.
Dragon defense, Rob, you alluded to the fact that it has been pretty solid even through the seasons that have been not quite up to Dragon standards the last 2 or 3. There's a running play and absolutely nowhere for Eric McArn to go. He is knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, blowing that up in the backfield was Jaquil Neal, and I'm telling you, the big fella, 338 pounds, was having no part of that.
So it is a 3rd and 10 for Ellsworth. Again, Mark Wright back in the shotgun, running back on his left hip. Quarterback drops back, 2-step drop, now wants to run with it, has a little bit of room, breaks to the outside, makes a nice cutback, and is close to a first down at the Blue Dragon 33-yard line. He might have gotten it.
Late flag, Glenn Grunwald, and
yep.
I'm not sure what this is. I think he's going to be a half a yard short. We're going to have to check out the penalty. As
it looks like it's going to go against Ellsworth the way they're
kind of walking back.
Pointed. Montgomery had a good shot out of linebacker position to make that tackle, but whooped on him a little bit. That's going to maybe be the only weakness on the defense. It's going to be the linebacker, but we'll see if they can grow into that position or not. It is against Ellsworth.
All right, so it's a personal foul, a big one against Ellsworth. And that will wipe out a potential first down run.
It's a big one, too.
And move the football way back to the 48-yard line, where it will again be third down, but this time third down 16. So the penalty occurring 9 yards upfield on that run. That's why it goes back only to the 48.
Huge, because I'm pretty sure they were in a situation where they would have went for it on fourth down, being a half a yard short, as the officials are going to hold up play here for a little bit and let both teams get set.
Mark Wright again at that quarterback position all by himself. 4 receivers to the short side of the field. That's the left side. Quarterback goes the other way, throws long, and has a man. And the catch is made inside the Dragon 20-yard line. Perfectly thrown ball, pulled in by Tariq Young, and he is out of bounds at the 18.
Number 4, Kelvin Clemens, was absolutely roasted on that play, and that's about as wide open as a receiver is going to get. Dragons will have to tighten coverage up.
Yeah, quick snap, and nothing much doing for Ellsworth as the running play nets only might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Monty Montgomery again. Caleb Bryce. Penetration, that went for naught.
Second down and 10 at the Hutchinson 18-yard line. Scoreless game. We're 4 minutes into the season as a flag is dropped.
All right, guys. Glenn, illegal substitution by the offense. That's going to cost them 5. Both teams a little sloppy early.
A little sloppy, but good field position right now for Ellsworth after that great catch on the out-of-bounds play over there from a nice quarterback strike right there. They're going to substitute some defensive players for the Blue Dragons.
This team is so deep defensively, guys. Hutchinson is rotating 4 defensive linemen, and I've never seen the Dragons do that.
No, never done that.
Second down and 15 now. Back at the Dragon 23-yard line. Wright scrambling, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and then is grabbed by the ankle, falls forward to the 20-yard line. On the scramble, he'll pick up 3 yards, leaving a 3rd and 12 situation at the Hutchinson 20.
Monty Montgomery that time making a shoestring tackle. That might have went for a lot more.
Yeah, struck the arm out, got him tripped up, and you're exactly right.
Hurry up offense. The ball delivered out in the flat, and a nice catch made by Tariq Young, but this time not much room to operate. He is able to get back to the initial line of scrimmage, which means it will be for Ellsworth, 4th down and 10.
Decision time here. Probably going to see the field goal unit trot onto the field as the Dragon defense does its job. And that 15-yard personal foul penalty was huge on the drive for Ellsworth.
Again, the kicker is Adian Muhammadjic. He's from Waterloo, Iowa. And the kick is up, the kick is low, and the kick is just inside the left upright. And it is the first point scored in 2018 at Gowans Stadium, and it belongs to Ellsworth, Iowa. 3-0 football game. We return with kickoff in 30 seconds.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Well, the Dragon inability to move the football on their first possession cost them field position, and the field goal by Muhadabic gives the first lead of the season to Ellsworth, Iowa.
Rusty, Hutchinson had great starting field position, had the kickoff at the 31-yard line, and then the Dragons managed to lose 7 yards. Hutchinson with minus 7 yards of offense on that opening drive, and nothing went right the first 3 snaps. Hopefully they'll get that corrected and get something going here.
The Dragons have won 10 consecutive season openers here in Gowans Stadium. One of those was last year when they fell behind Coffeyville in the first game by 25 points, came back to win.
Yep, it was an incredible game.
Here comes the kickoff, and this time it is deep and will float down in the end zone, and the Dragons will take a knee and start at the 20-yard line. Thinking about bringing it back out for Hutchinson was Desmond Jackson, but he caught it about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Probably makes a wise decision.
Glenn Grunwald, keep in mind the Dragon offense to start this game is going into the teeth of a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah, a little bit of a breeze. They need to just get some things established. The penalty took them back, and then not a good play call on the next and the low snap, and the first set of downs was disastrous.
Well, Dragons may rotate a couple of quarterbacks here, but
it's
right
still
now
missing Shucker.
That's right.
Shucker back in the gun. Takes a snap, loads it up, delivers it out in the flat. Catch made and taken out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Aaron Collins.
One thing Coach Rhodes told me, he thinks this wide receiving core, depth-wise and overall, could be special and as good as Hutchinson has had. A lot of weapons. Hopefully we've got some quarterbacks that can put it in the hands of these wide receivers this year.
So a pickup of 5 on first down. Football resting now at the 30-yard line. Again, Mason Shucker takes the snap. This time he hands off and a pretty decent hole off the right side. And the first down of the football season for the Dragons is Aaron Collins, after handling a pass for the first 5 yards of the drive, gets 7 on the running play.
Good job by the line up front. Collins, following his blockers, made a couple of cuts and did what he had to do, lowered his shoulders and got the first down.
Both teams playing quickly. Dragons with wideouts to the left and right. Again, Mason Shucker, the young man from Arkansas, good size, 6'4" kid. Hands off, and the Dragons, basically with the end around, are trying to make something happen. And able to pick up about 4 yards for Hutchinson was Khalil McClain. Now, he is another good-sized youngster, 6'4", out of Fairburn, Georgia.
Wide receiver and kind of end around there, and really picked up most of that yardage on second and third effort. There wasn't much there. A couple of missed tackles by Ellsworth, Iowa.
But the Dragons moving the football in a positive direction. Shucker looks at the play list on his left wrist. Now he's ready to take the snap. Man in motion. Shucker wants to pass. Pressure comes, floats it downfield, and almost got it picked off, threw into double coverage. Fortunately for Hutchinson, it falls incomplete.
You know, throwing against this Kansas wind, Glenn, sometimes these quarterbacks, you know, where they grew up and through, you didn't have this kind of wind.
Yeah, I mean, he's been here for a while, and we've had some windy days. That one just got away from him a little bit. Now, actually, you look at the goalposts, those flags are starting to drop a little bit, so it's diminishing a little bit. Let's see what happens here.
3rd down and 6. Big play for the Dragons, who trail 3-0. There's the snap. Quarterback wants to throw, loads it up, throws short, delivers it short of the first down, out to the 44-yard line. Catch made there, but it will be 2 yards shy of a first down, and it becomes 4th down and 2. And trailing just 3-0, I would think the Dragons will punt it out of this situation.
Early in the football game, you play field position. Dragons came up a yard short, did look better offensively there, but try to pin your opponent deep here and allow your defense to do its job.
All right, again, we've talked about the Hutchinson kicker. Hutchinson punter, a big kid, Matt Jones from Omaha, gets off a beauty, drills it against the breeze, flies it downfield. Dragons down. Great kick and great coverage, getting down quickly for the Blue Dragons to cover the football, touch it down inside the 5. Jalik Jagway, and that's about as good as you can do in a punting game.
Matt Jones was drafted out of Hutchinson Community College as a baseball player in the 25th round back in 2014. Ryan Schmidt was in our booth and said, just a fantastic kid. He played 1 year at Hutchinson, went to the Dodgers, didn't work out in baseball. They said, heck yeah, we'll take you as a punter. You've got a leg like that. You've got another year of eligibility left. He's at Hutchinson Community College, and if he can punt like that, guys, it's going to be a great year.
New quarterback for Ellsworth. This is Jack Bastable. He stands in the end zone as the line of scrimmage at the 4-yard line, delivers a pass out to the 10-yard line, complete to Jordan Foster, but he is bumped out of bounds rather rudely after picking up 6.
Damari Givens, he absolutely lowered the boom. Textbook tackle. Nice job.
Jack Bastable from Naperville, Illinois takes the snap. This will be a running play, a little bit of a hole, and then close quickly. Let's say a gain of a half a yard at most. And that'll set up third down and the better part of 4 yards to go.
You look at that punt by Jones, and field position really changes.
Yep, it's huge.
Throw out in the flat. It is caught for a first down at the 15-yard line and able to get out to the 16 after the reception is Jordan Foster. So a big first down for Ellsworth. They've shown an ability, guys, here in the early stages to be able to move the football.
Great tackle by Josh Relaford, and we're looking at a first down 10 here, and that was a huge catch.
Midway in the first quarter with Ellsworth leading Hutchinson 3-0. Jack Bastable takes the snap, hands off, and the Dragons are in the backfield, and there is nowhere whatsoever to go. Wonderful job by the defensive line as they just suffocated the right side of the offensive front for Ellsworth.
Kamari Ganius with a nice tackle off that defensive line.
Eric McCarn couldn't do anything there. It is a second down now and about 12.
Need a stop. Like to see them punt from this part of the field.
Bastable on. Mark Wright was the quarterback for the first series for Ellsworth. Bastable all by himself, trips to the right side. Pressure comes, the ball thrown out in the flat. Dragon defender falls down, and the catch is made out at the 25-yard line by Tariq Young. His third grab of the first quarter. And with the clock just moving into the 7-minute mark, another first down for Ellsworth, and they have gotten out of trouble.
A little bit short, about 3rd and 1.
Yeah, they didn't get a very good spot, and the Dragons do a pretty good job of defending the run on 3rd down by Eric McCarn, but I think he got maybe just enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they'll move the chains. On that rush was Pinckney. I thought he might have got to him, but did not. Nice catch for 9 yards, and then the run for the first down.
Boy, they're snapping it as soon as they get to it.
Bastable this time will keep it, and he dives to the turf at the 26-yard line. That is basically no gain on the first down carry by the quarterback.
Caleb Bryce, 37. He has been everywhere for the Dragon defense, and right now Ellsworth just trying to keep Hutchinson from substituting and off balance, going high tempo and snap as quick as they can.
Doing a good job of moving the football with short passes.
Yep.
Bastable with 3 receivers to the right side, throws it over the middle, completes it over the middle. Another catch made by Tariq Young, and in traffic, he's able to do a pretty good job of running after the first down. May have gotten out enough for a first down. Let's call it a pickup of 10. And the 3rd first down for Ellsworth on this drive, which started inside the 5. Quarterback double pumps, has to run with it, takes off, and is hauled down after a short gain off the right side. Jack Bastable couldn't find somebody to throw to. Dragons defend the run pretty well. They have been able to stop Ellsworth pretty effectively on the ground, but much less so through the air.
Jalen Pant on the tackle. Dragons bring in 3 fresh defensive linemen finally.
Back to throw is Bastable. Puts it up for grabs, and it is intercepted, I believe, if he was in bounds, and he was. Interception by the Dragons secondary. Bastable just floated that one up there.
Latavian Beaton, number 21, Glenn Grunwald. That is a spectacular INT.
It was. St. Petersburg, Florida is his hometown. By the way, Tony Haynes, the head coach for Ellsworth, he was on that national championship team for Butler as an offensive coordinator. He likes to speed it up, and you can see how quick the calls were, but that one went against him.
The tempo, Rusty, has you can barely get the play called. He's at the line of scrimmage snapping the ball, going for the next play.
Yeah, we are going to get a lot of snaps in this game. We played just less than 10 minutes, 3-0 Ellsworth. Dragons' 3rd possession of the game, still scoreless. And they go with a run and getting to the edge, and good yardage, 10, maybe 12 yards on the carry by Desmond Jackson. Young man from El Dorado, Arkansas, around the left side.
Great blocking up front. They sealed that left side, got some room around the corner, and getting about an 8-9 yard gain.
Yeah, they say he stepped out of bounds. I thought he stayed in bounds for a couple steps more. He did not. It is 2nd and short. Good gambling down. Dragons go back to Jackson. puts his shoulder down, contact right at the line of scrimmage. He's able to bull forward out close to the 43-yard line, where it will be for Hutchinson a first down.
Well, 78 total yards of offense in this game for Ellsworth, Iowa. Hutchinson with 25 total yards, and the Dragons finally getting a little rhythm on this drive.
Mason Shucker has been the quarterback throughout this first quarter.
And
there is contact.
That's going to be a offside penalty. The big fella for Ellsworth, Iowa, that was Ernest Austin. They say watch the football, not the cadence. And he blew across the line.
Once he gets his 370 pounds in motion, it's pretty hard to stop.
Glenn, the last two snaps, the Dragon offensive line has blown up Ellsworth.
Yeah, they really. I'm impressed so far with the defensive line and with the stoppage of the run play. A little questionable right now if people throw against us, but this is early.
Dragons with a first down and 5, and out close to midfield. Still trailing in this game, 3-0 with 4:45 remaining in quarter number 1. Rusty Hills, Glenn Grunwald, Rob Dreher with you from Gowans Stadium. Shucker takes the snap, rolls to his right, wants to throw, draws some pressure, throws it upfield, and almost
incomplete.
Threw a pick. Pretty nice job by the intended receiver for the Dragons, Jalik Jagway. He turned into a defensive back as the ball was thrown behind him. He was able to reach back and prevent the interception.
I'm going to tell you, Coach Rhodes right now is looking to his bench, and that's a throw right there. That Hutchinson guys last year had 27 turnovers, and that's what he talked about. Manage the game, don't make mistakes. That was almost a critical one.
Second down, 5. Running back for the Dragons, Aaron Collins. He'll get his chance. Breaks off the right side. Gets caught by the ankle, close to a first down, but appears to be half a yard short as he falls across the midfield stripe to the 48.
Well, Hutchinson right now doing what they want on the ground. I say just continue to pound it until they can stop you. They're having success running the ball.
Yeah, Collins was a step away from getting some big yardage on that run right there, so I agree with you, Rob.
Third down and a yard. We've been blowing them off up front. Let's see if they can get that yard here.
Mason Shucker takes the snap, hands off, and losing his footing was Aaron Collins. Tried to make a cut, had his feet come out from underneath him, actually falls backwards and loses half a yard, and it's 4th down and 2.
Running back just simply fell down. Tried to make a cut, slipped, fell. Coach Rhodes now with a decision to make on 4th and short. Do you punt the football?
Doesn't look like it.
I would be surprised if they didn't try to draw him offside.
Yeah, try to draw him off maybe.
Maybe call a timeout. They've already had to burn one of those because not having a player on the field earlier.
4th down, about 2.
There's your timeout.
Now the Dragons will take the timeout. They're second of the quarter. 3:20 remains in the first quarter. So far for the Blue Dragons, no offense. It is 3-0 Ellsworth. We return with more football in half a minute.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Well, guys, I would anticipate, since there was no jumping on the part of Ellsworth, the Dragons now will go ahead and punt it on 4th down and 2, and they'll hope for the same kind of result that Matt Jones gave them the last time with the punt down to the 4-yard line.
Has to be frustrating. Hutchinson has had the football 3 times now and just really haven't been able to get anything on track.
Certainly haven't as yet connected on anything resembling a big play. The good news, Dragons trail just 3-0. Here comes a punt from Jones. This one angled for the sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds. Didn't catch that one at all. Well, he was trying to knock it down in the coffin corner, and they'll line it up and say that ball went out of bounds near the 30-yard line. So it is going to be, in effect, just about a 20-yard punt. Not quite up to the standards Matt Jones has for himself.
Glenn, something with this year's team I think that could help if the offense does struggle. There's so much more depth on that defensive line. I think linebacker, secondary, you can rotate guys and maybe not get hurt as much. Last year we just wore out.
Yeah, we wore out, and if you remember right, even at the running back spot, we wore out. We went pretty deep, but you're exactly right. Well, no, this is a pretty tough 3 weeks coming up here.
Yeah, we want to figure things out tonight. That is for sure.
And now Ellsworth back to Mark Wright at the quarterback. Wright was the quarterback when Ellsworth drove for the field goal. That's the only scoring in this game.
Timeout.
They will take a timeout as they're a little bit disorganized. So will we. 3:14 remains in period number 1. 3-0 Ellsworth. Back in half a minute.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salt Hawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Well, we have played nearly 12 minutes of football, 3-0 Ellsworth, and for the Panthers another opportunity as they start this drive at their own 30-yard line. Blue Dragon defense has been up to the task in keeping them out of the end zone. Only points in the game, a field goal.
Last time the defense was out there, that huge interception by a Dragon defender.
And back to throw. They changed back to the second quarterback, and that ball not well thrown at all by Jack Bastable. Kind of slipped out of his hands. Dragons couldn't get a pick off, though. Angled for the sideline. There's a flag dropped over there. Was there interference?
Yep, pass interference is about to be called.
Evidently messed up his route, and they alluded to the fact that he might have been able to get to it.
So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, it appears, against the Hutchinson defense, and that's going to give this Ellsworth, Iowa team some good field position.
Called the penalty on Kelvin Clemens. And the walk-off will take the football out almost to the 45-yard line. Actually, they spotted down at the 41-yard line. Still on the Ellsworth side of the midfield stripe. Ellsworth, with all the points in this game, there are only 3. And now it's Bastable, the quarterback, fakes the handoff, pulls it off, throws it over the middle, completes it for a first down at the Hutchinson 45-yard line. Well thrown in traffic, and the catch made once again by Jordan Foster, his 3rd grab of the first quarter.
Flag
on the play.
Right in front of Coach Ryan Rhodes, and sideline warning against Hutchinson, first of the half. Ryan Rhodes barks out at the official and has a few choice words, but it's a first down. Ellsworth clicking on offense, and their passing game right now giving the Dragons some fits.
Not doing much on the ground, but moving it through the air, and now at the Hutchinson 44-yard line with a brand new set of downs. Slots to the left and right, man in motion across the formation, and they go with a running play to the right side, and not going far at all is Eric McArn. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit more, but not much on the first down run. It'll be 2nd and long.
Trammell Walthor with the tackle. Big number 95, minimal gain, but quickly to the line of scrimmage. Boy, they waste no time.
2nd down and 9. The quarterback is Bastable, looks over at the sideline. Now ready to go, says something to his center. Operating out of the shotgun, loads it up, throws it high, and it is almost picked off. It was thrown just out of the reach of Tariq Young. Ball popped off of his fingertips up high in the air. 2 or 3 Dragon defenders in the area couldn't get to it.
Josh Relaford just about got his paws on it. The ball was tipped. That's dangerous from an offensive standpoint. Ellsworth very fortunate the Dragons didn't have their second pick in as many possessions.
3rd down and 9 at the Hutchinson 43-yard line. Bastable throws, pressure comes, kind of puts it up for grabs, and it is going to be intercepted. Intercepted at the 15-yard line by Blue Dragon defender Demarie Givens, the Dragon secondary, with his second pick of the quarter.
Clint, great pressure up front. That's just kind of as good as a punt because it would have been fourth down, but boy, what a great job by the secondary.
Nice job of getting position to be able to get up there and out-jump the receiver for it.
And again, Glenn down on the sideline, courtesy of Jackson Meade.
And we will have a new quarterback, Rusty, Brandon George, number 5, and he comes in with some incredible statistics from his high school career.
And George out of Edmond, Oklahoma, he will operate out of the shotgun as well. Dragons start at their own 13-yard line with a running play and a flag dropped immediately, hole on the right side, and a little bit of yardage by Desmond Jackson out to perhaps near the 21-yard line. We'll check the flag.
I think offsides against Ellsworth, so I got a feeling they're going to decline this one. Scoring update real quick. Independence 24 and Dodge City 10. That is at halftime. Coffeyville and Iowa Western, they'll score at the end of one.
Officials are huddled up. It appeared to me that it was an offside penalty. I think Hutchinson will take the 5 yards, and it'll be first down and 5.
It's an interesting call.
They're going to decline it.
Because they got 7 yards on the carry. You'd rather have second down and 3 than first down and 5, I guess.
It's a toss-up, and Coach Rhodes decided to decline it. You'll take a second down and 3.
Real estate on the mind of the Hutchinson coach.
Yeah, those 2 yards are more important than that down.
So it is a second down 3. Again, the quarterback, Brandon George from Edmond, Oklahoma, on in replacement of Shucker. Hands off, and Dragons Jackson makes a nice cut at the 25, at the 30, across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. First down, Dragons.
I'm going to tell you guys, you just saw some Division I moves out of that young man right there. He made 2 cuts that were absolutely spectacular, and he's looking good.
His first one was the most important. That really got the angle for him going, and then he used a burst of speed. You're exactly right. Nice run by Jackson. He's had a good summer.
At the 35-yard line, quarterback Brandon George takes the snap, loads it up, wants to throw long, and delivers it perfectly at the 40-yard line. Down the sideline go the Dragons, and they've got themselves a touchdown. A beautiful, beautiful over-the-shoulder catch made by Blue Dragon receiver Jalen Irwin, and the Dragons have the lead.
This quarterback was the Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year. Threw for over 4,000 yards, 44 passing touchdowns, 21 rushing touchdowns. He, right there, just showed us something.
That ball had to be perfectly thrown. Irwin had a little bit of separation, but maybe at most 1 step. Ball delivered perfectly over the shoulder. The extra point is up. It is good, and Hutchinson, with 1:17 to go in the quarter, leads Ellsworth 7-3. The Dragon kickoff up next in half a minute.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
Well, 1 week from Saturday, the Blue Dragons will play their first conference game, and what a test it will be as the Blue Dragons will go to Independence for the 2nd year in a row. The Independence Pirates, preseason number 5 in the country, and you heard the score, 24-10. They lead at Dodge at halftime.
Well, Hutchinson needed that. They had struggled offensively. New quarterback, and just like that, Hutch leads 7-3.
Nice kick, floats down to the 2-yard line, where it is grabbed by Cardell Phillips, and he has a nice run back all the way out to the 37-yard line. Flags fly far away from where the returner was dragged down. A couple of flags dropped between the 25 and the 30.
Guys, I got Brandon George right here with me. Welcome to Hutchinson, Brandon.
Thank you, sir.
Nice throw.
Thank you.
Got to get right on the numbers, guys. Perfect throw.
Well, DeAnthony Miles, a great special teams tackle. This penalty, I believe, is going to cost Ellsworth, Iowa some real estate. It's a holding call, and that'll mark them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and they're going to be inside the 20-yard line to start.
Nullified a pretty doggone good return. But instead, that good field position will be replaced with one far less desirable, as the ball will be taken back all the way to the 17-yard line.
87th year of Blue Dragon football. Hutchinson has won 10 straight openers, and that last pass, Rusty, I can tell you I can count on one hand the number of balls that were put on the money like that from a quarterback here last year.
Oh, I agree with you on that. We've got a new offensive coordinator, by the way, Roderick Taylor, but also more importantly, I think, is the fact that Coach Cross has returned from high school coaching in Georgia to come back.
Good for him.
Mark Wright is back at quarterback for Ellsworth. And Wright hands off. Dragons have been pretty good against the run, but this time a little bit of positive yardage as Eric McCorn slips off right tackle for a pickup of about 4.
Jamard Morgan, the tackle, been tough to run against Hutchinson's defense.
Again, the hurry-up offense. It is 2nd down and 6. Low snap, quarterback retrieves, keeps it himself, and is punished as he is able to get forward for perhaps a yard to the 23. Maybe a little bit better than that. Maybe 2 yards out to the 24, where it will be still a 3rd down and 4 with inside half a minute to play in the first quarter. Hutchinson leading Ellsworth, Iowa 7-3.
Monty Montgomery, the last tackle for Hutchinson. Big 3rd down.
Mark Wright in the shotgun gets a low snap and gets buried. Didn't have a chance. Went down to pick it up and was rudely greeted by Monty Montgomery, who said, just stay down there.
Yeah, he just played a game of duck, duck, goose is what he did right there.
Well, first of all, he was on a blitz. And then when the quarterback falls down and the offensive lineman misses a block, that 3 combination guys is very beneficial to the defense.
And it turned out to be no chance for Mark Wright.
Right.
We've played 15 minutes. Hutchinson 7, Ellsworth 3. Second quarter comes up in exactly 1 minute.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
When you have kids in school, there are lots of things to remember and keep track of, like school physicals and sports physicals, and the very important immunizations. So to you and your children, welcome to Prairie Star Health Center, whether you have insurance or not. Pediatrician David Smith wants to make sure your children stay healthy. He's here for you at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
A pretty even football game in that first quarter. Hutchinson 115 yards of offense, 94 for Ellsworth, but Hutchinson with the lead, 7-3. Ellsworth with a punting situation on 4th down and 9.
Hutch should get good field position here. You need to handle it cleanly.
Ooh, almost got to the punt. Punt is off, and it's pretty effective. A little bit low, but it runs down that right sideline all the way down to the Hutchinson 43-yard line. And the Dragons will start there. First time Hutchinson has had the football and the lead in this game.
At the end of the quarter, Athletic Director Josh Gooch presenting a football to Brian Bobo, General Manager of Midwest Superstore, as they are the sponsor of tonight's football game, the big corporate sponsor. They help make these broadcasts and football games possible. And big shout out to Midwest Superstore and for all they do for Blue Dragon football.
I'm not sure you realize that Brian Bobo played
Oklahoma State.
And actually played, was it Oklahoma State?
Yeah, Oklahoma State's where he played.
He was an offensive lineman and a very good one. And there's a flag, and this is going to be a penalty, I believe, on Hutchinson for illegal substitution.
Well,
we had two flags dropped immediately. It's an illegal substitution penalty on one of the two teams, and I don't know which one. Defense. Okay. Well, that's great. You got a 1st down and 5, and that opens up the playbook to do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yep.
Reavers of Iowa Western with a 7-0 lead midway through the second quarter now over Coffeyville.
It's a good game. A lot of good teams in this conference, my goodness.
Dragons go with the run on 1st down. Brandon George, I'm not sure whether he actually missed a handoff or whether that was designed, but it didn't go anywhere.
That is designed for the quarterback. It's a read option. And this young man had 21 rushing touchdowns in high school because he's extremely athletic. He's a little different quarterback than your starter, Shucker, but he can get it done on the ground too, Rusty.
So no yardage on 1st down, but because of the penalty on 1st down against Ellsworth, it is a 2nd down and 5.
Which is still fine.
And George wants to throw. Pressure comes, fumbles the football. Fumble it. They scramble for it inside the Hutchinson 45-yard line. And it appears that it has been recovered by Ellsworth.
Well, that's just a quarterback who's playing his first junior college football game. Things happen faster, quicker. Guys are stronger. You got to learn to hang on to the football, and costly turnover. That defense for Hutchinson now will have to get out there and make a stand.
How many times did we ask the defense to do the job a year ago in that 7-5 season? And for the most part, they were able to oblige. That was a golden opportunity for the Dragons to do something offensively, and despite having just a 1st down and 5, they wind up surrendering the football on the fumble. Ellsworth starts at the Hutchinson 44, starts with a running play that again goes nowhere. There has been nothing whatsoever there for running back Eric McCarn.
Glenn, number 10, Monty Montgomery says, I'd like to be the defensive player of the game. He's tearing things up.
He's on a lot of touches out there. He's had a couple tackles, a couple of unassisted tackles. You're exactly right. And we need him to grow up at that linebacker spot.
Yep.
Play action, ball unloaded over the middle. Receiver out there makes a great grab inside the 15-yard line. Once again, Tariq Young, I believe already his 4th catch of this football game, and Ellsworth trying to capitalize on the turnover. Has it at the Hutchinson 12.
Yeah, that's Ahmad Green in coverage, and he lost sight of the receiver.
Bastable throws, and it is off the fingertips at the 1-yard line, off the fingertips of Tariq Young. Pretty well defended.
Dragons may want to get some help over there because right now they're single covering him with a corner, and he's a load. You might want to see if you can slide a backer or a safety over there and double team him because right now he seems to be a thorn in the Dragons' side.
We had a hold on the play against Ellsworth, which
did not
helps
see
out a
the
little
flag.
bit.
That will help considerably.
Yeah, it's at about the 17-yard line right there.
So it will be for Ellsworth. They're actually going to set it down at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 1st down and 20.
Hutchinson leading 7-3, second quarter, 13:28 to go.
Jack Bastable is the quarterback. The running back is Eric McCarn, but he has done nothing. Trips to the left side. Bastable looks back the other way, throws to a McCarn coming out of the backfield. McCarn never turned around to look for the football, which was thrown over his shoulder. Trying to make the Dragons think the pass play was going to go to the other side of the field, and again there is a flag.
Yeah, and the first guy that was complaining was Monty Montgomery. Came on a linebacker blitz. I think he might have been held. At least that is what he is saying. And they're going to say a personal foul against Hutchinson.
Yeah, it's going to be against the Blue Dragons.
Well, that's a huge penalty. That is already the 3rd penalty for Hutchinson.
And the ball goes back to the 11-yard line on the personal foul. It is a 1st down. That is a costly penalty. Dragons had Ellsworth backed up to a 1st down and 20. Bastable takes the snap, throwing on almost every play. Throws in the end zone, wide open receiver, and then at the last moment, not sure whether it just bounced off the chest of the receiver or whether the Hutchinson defensive back there was Josh Relaford. He might have gotten a hand on it.
Josh Relaford is extremely lucky that the receiver dropped the football because he was beaten, and that could have been a touchdown, should have been a touchdown.
Went off the receiver's arm, and then he tried to come back for it, but Relaford, by that time, had taken him out of the play.
I'm surprised Hutchinson's not getting more pressure on the quarterback, to be frank.
Because the running game is not there.
But
there's no point in worrying about that. Bastable, again, wants to throw, fakes the throw and hands off, and McCarn, as has been the case normally when he gets the ball, is promptly platted on his back end.
Kobe Oldfield making a nice tackle. 33 got penetration. You know, it's a huge third down because I think if Hutchinson can get a stop here, you'll see Ellsworth trot the field goal unit out there.
It is 3rd down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Bastable back to throw. Here comes pressure, and the ball delivered in the end zone. Receiver open, but Bastable, under so much pressure, has to just throw it up in a hurry. Not able to get to it was Cardell Phillips, and it's an incomplete pass, and it'll be 4th down and 10. And as you predicted, here comes the field goal unit.
Caleb Bryce, Glenn Grunwald, number 37. Came on a linebacker blitz and just blew the quarterback.
He's the one that had the penalty a little while ago for the illegal hit, and this time he made it back with lots of pressure on the quarterback. So they'll try a field goal.
It is a 28-yard field goal, slide angle from the right side for Adion Mohamedogic, and it's a line drive shot, but it is right down central. And the field goal pulls Ellsworth back within one of the Blue Dragons, 7-6. Hutchinson defense does its job, gives up a little bit of ground, but keeps the Panthers out of the end zone. Hutchinson will get the football when we return to Gowans Stadium in half a minute.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
Well, Hutchinson still with a 1-point advantage, 7-6, and the Dragons will get the football on the kickoff, unless Ellsworth, of course, would choose to do something like an onside kick, which I don't see forthcoming.
What a fantastic crowd at Gowans Stadium tonight. I think folks are hungry. You know, high school football gets underway next Friday, but this is an opportunity. You go all through summer. You haven't seen football for a long time, and you know, there was a lot of excitement in the air for this one, and there is an outstanding crowd here tonight.
By the way, Hutchinson High School will start playing Wichita West, but that game will take place at Friends University next Friday night, and a bit of an unusual start time for high school football. That will be a 7:30 game.
Typically, yep, 7 o'clock normally.
Marquise Whitmire is the deepest of 3 Dragons on the kickoff. Mohamedogic is the kicker, and it is a spinning kick and not very deep, handled at the 15-yard line, quickly out to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, a hole off the left side, to the 40, 45, 50, down the sideline, 45, 40, 30, cuts back at the 20, at the 15, finally hauled down at about the 12-yard line. Spectacular return for the Blue Dragons.
Desmond Jackson getting it done from the running back position and from the kick return position. That was spectacular.
I had him taking it in right around the 15, guys. So, Rusty, you do the math real quick. Nice run back.
Let's make it 35 and 38, 73-yard return, and the Blue Dragons at business at the 12.
Unbelievable return, and that is exactly what the Hutchinson offense needed. And by the way, Glenn's sideline reports brought to you by Jackson Meat. Glenn, they have some of the best products in
13
town.
West 6-662-4465. Get the ribs on Friday, guys. Plus, it's dollar filet off a pound tomorrow.
Mason Shucker is the quarterback. He gives to Aaron Collins, and Collins not much as he slants left.
Yeah, I tell you, the running back position, Desmond Jackson has really got it done there. Aaron Collins was the starter, and he just, to me, hasn't shown quite the niftiness that we've seen out of Jackson here, at least in this first half.
It is very early in the football season. We've played just 18 minutes of football. 7-6 Hutchinson over Ellsworth, but the Dragons in great field position at the 12 of Ellsworth, second down 10. Quarterback throws, has a wide open receiver in the end zone, and that was simply a misfire. Mason Shucker will never have the tight end Leroy Watson any more open than he was right there. Can't make the connection. It's third down.
Yeah, he had the whole corner back there, and just a little too hard and outside, high and outside.
They think Leroy Watson is going to be a superstar at tight end, and he showed why there. I mean, put on a spectacular move, worked himself wide open in the end zone. Quarterback's got to make that throw.
Trips to the right side on third down and 10. Shucker takes the snap. Long count, drops back, has time to throw. Throws short, throws over the middle, and it is intercepted. Intercepted inside the 10-yard line. And that is a classic mistake for a quarterback. You're in almost certain field goal range. You just can't make that mistake.
Well, it has been a tough start for two different quarterbacks here for Hutchinson. George, his first trip out, made a spectacular throw for a touchdown. His last two possessions, though, have been two he wants to forget.
And it is, for Hutchinson, kind of a mixed bag of tricks. You don't get any points out of it. That's a bitter pill to swallow. But certainly not very good field position for Ellsworth as they have the ball at their own 6 after the pick.
Dragon defense needs to find a way to keep Ellsworth from getting out of this part of the field.
Bastable wants to throw. They got it in the end zone. And now they throw it up for grabs.
Yeah, they're going to call safety, guys.
Should be a safety. Bastable was in the grasp going down, threw the ball up, flag dropped.
Well,
it's going to be a safety, regardless.
What he was crazy about doing is he knew it was going to be a safety, so he just like threw it. It's a hot potato, get it out of here. If a Dragon falls on it, instead of a safety, it's a Hutchinson touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Intentional grounding is what's being called.
Safety.
Yeah, 2 points, same thing. And so, plus, he came up a little gimpy, so we'll keep an eye on him.
So it becomes a 9-6 football game. Now, any normal person that hearing the score is 9-6 says there's either been a missed extra point or there's been a batch of field goals. Not the case.
Yeah, it's been a crazy start. So Hutchinson figured to maybe get a field goal out of that possession, but they turn it over. And then on the first play from scrimmage, they get a safety. So instead of getting 3 points out of the possession, they end up salvaging 2, and they'll get the football back.
And Independence has the option of kicking from placement at the 20-yard line or punting. The Dragons by 3 now, 9-6.
As you look at it in the rear-view mirror, what happened there almost could be better if Hutchinson were to go on a drive here and score.
The deepest of the Dragons on this anticipated kick is Jalen Irwin. He's the young man that caught the touchdown pass from Brandon George, the only touchdown scored in this game thus far.
Pretty fitting, though, guys, because they really should have came out with at least 3.
Right.
And like Rob said, the defense is going to have to do its thing, and they did their thing and got 2 points back, plus we'll get pretty good field position.
You get possession, so it turned out to maybe be a better thing, but Hutchinson needs to quit turning the football over and get something on this possession.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Already 2 turnovers on the Dragons.
Yep.
This is a team that had 27 of them last year.
And that's
way more than Coach Rhodes would like. Of course, that's in a 12-game season, but that's still better than 2 per game.
And he's breaking in 2 new quarterbacks. This is all new. They'll start to settle in. You can see talent with both of them. Thankfully, you've got a defense good enough to cover up some of those mistakes.
All right, here we go, and the ball placed on a tee at the 20-yard line. Muhammad Dogic bangs it downfield. Irwin handles at the 18, quickly out to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, cut back in the middle of the field to the 40, tumbles across the 45-yard line, out close to the 49.
Well, that's a great tackle by Cambu Clements from Ellsworth, Iowa, to clip the legs out from underneath the Dragon returnee. Hutchinson, though, will get good field position. Now you'd like to see him get a sustained drive here.
And let's see who the quarterback will be. We
It'll
are
be
back
George.
to Brandon George.
Yep.
Well, by my count, that's 4 possessions where the quarterback was Mason Shucker. This will be the 3rd for George.
And George was spectacular on one, not so much on another.
Pressure comes from the side, and the Dragons with the run, and nowhere to go for Jackson. He is tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Blitz came off the right side. That was the side where he was running to, and not much he could do.
And they are gambling, guys. They're blitzing almost every play, and that's going to open things up for a big play in the secondary.
Yeah,
Hutchinson can just get, I mean, there's been wide receivers all over the field. You've got to connect.
2nd down, 10. Hutchinson at its own 49-yard line.
Blitz coming again.
Ball thrown, caught, but nowhere to go for Jackson. This will go for negative yardage.
That was a great catch by 27, one-handed Jackson.
Lost 3 on the play, though, and the Blue Dragon offense looks at a 3rd down and 14. It is an offense that has 1 touchdown pass to its credit, but other than that, really has not moved the football very well thus far.
They are blitzing every play. That time they came with 2 linebackers on a blitz, and very rarely do they play it just straight up.
3rd down, 14. George trying to buy some time. Is running with it at the 50, puts his head down. Helmet-to-helmet contact at the 42-yard line. Let's hope that nobody's hurt. That was helmet-to-helmet as George put his head down, banged right into the helmet of a defensive player.
He got a little stinger. That right shoulder's hanging a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. He got hit hard, and he is that is not good news, guys. He is holding that right shoulder in a way that looks like it's not good news.
Well, we'll let Glenn down on the sideline see what he can find out about that. It is a 4th down and 2, pretty effective scramble, got 12 out of it, but now the Dragons will go back to Shucker at quarterback. He's the young man that started the game. 4th down and 2, and the Dragons will spend their final time out of the half as they were trying to draw Ellsworth offside, not successful in so doing. We return in half a minute, 9:32 to go in the first half. 9-6 Hutch over Ellsworth, Iowa.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Dragons are 4th down and 2 at the 43-yard line of Ellsworth, Iowa. Mason Shucker, the Hutchinson quarterback, in the gun, takes the snap, hands off, and the Dragons do not get it. On 4th down and 2, they got 1. Jackson, the ball carrier, not able to get the job done, and the ball goes back over to Ellsworth, Iowa. And the offense continues to have questions.
Well, in the meantime, you have your quarterback, George, on the trainer's table. He took an incredible shot, came off the field holding his right throwing shoulder. They're taking the shoulder pads off, or at least they're trying to get them off, and I don't like any part of the look that I'm seeing with George, your quarterback, who came in with some super high expectations.
Yeah, he's holding that clavicle area, and he's really in a lot of pain.
Well, he, on the scramble on 3rd down and about 14, he got some running room, tried to stretch out to get some more yardage, put the head down, and he was met by the defender, and it was helmet-to-helmet contact right in front of the Blue Dragon bench.
Well, Dragon defense once again holding on to a 9-6 lead here with 9:27 to go in the second quarter. Is going to have to get it done.
What, are we going to have a measurement? It looked to me clearly that the Dragons were short, but it may be close enough to look at. Official holding the football firmly to the turf at the 43-yard line. I've seen no indication that they're bringing the chains in.
All right, so it's first down Ellsworth. We thought we knew that from the get-go, and I don't know why we've not.
Well, they didn't change the down marker on the other side. That was a confusion.
Right.
But they have it right, and it is indeed Ellsworth football. 9:27 remains in the first half. It is a half in which the defenses have frankly played better than the offenses. Dragons have a couple of interceptions, a couple of turnovers also by the Hutchinson offense. One by interception, the other a fumble.
Well, one thing we've seen in this football game, guys, is if you're a quarterback, you know, maybe in high school you played 3A football, you'd lower your shoulder and take a hit like that. At this level, guys are too big and strong. You just got to get down and live to play another down.
And back to the original quarterback, Mark Wright, are the Panthers. And he has caught and dumped from behind. Kind of slipping up from behind is a young man that we expect to say his name a lot. That was Jalen Pinckney that got him on the sack.
Did Dragon talk with Coach Rhodes Monday night. When it was over, he said, Rob, I want you to remember this, number 44. He said he's special, and he is going to be a big-time defensive end for us.
Loss of 7. Second down. Wright wants to buy some time, runs out of time, throws a dangerous pass on the sideline. It is incomplete, and it'll be third down and a bunch.
And Glenn, quarterback was running for his life again because of 44.
Yeah, good pressure by. He's starting to get the feel for it a little bit out there, and I think, like you said, you're going to be calling his name a lot. Number 44, if you come to the stadium, he's a good one.
It is third down, and we'll make it 17 for Ellsworth. Quarterback is Mark Wright. Running game has not produced anything. If Wright wants to throw, starts to be chased, gets open, throws it downfield, and it is broken up through into double coverage. Pass was intended for Tariq Young. 2 Dragon defenders, one in front, one behind, able to knock the ball to the turf, and it's punt time for Ellsworth from their own 36-yard line.
And it was number 44, Jalen Pinckney again, who flushed the quarterback, made him throw on the run. Pass was inaccurate. Dragon secondary was there. 3 consecutive plays. Number 44 was a huge part of that series.
Tyler Amundsen this time will be the punter for Ellsworth. Again, the line of scrimmage, the Ellsworth 36-yard line. Punts off, high punt. Dragons handled it at the 37-yard line. No return after the fair catch. And Hutchinson will have it. Actually, they put it midway between the 37 and the 38.
So Mason Shucker, I assume, will go back to quarterback. I'm not sure we're going to see Brandon George anytime soon, as he is still on the training table, and that right shoulder has been worked on since he got over there about 10 minutes ago. But time for the Dragon offense to show something here.
The Dragons have at times been able to move the ball on the ground, but not consistently. The passing game success has been pretty much limited to one play, not a touchdown throw. Dragons start. We'll call it at their own 37. Blitz comes up the middle, and the Dragon run is going to be snuffed out for no gain whatsoever.
Every single play, Ellsworth is bringing an extra 1, an extra 2. Right now, they're not respecting the passing game whatsoever. They're coming with a full blitz.
And astounding how often the Dragon run comes right into the area from which the blitz is coming.
Experienced by a quarterback, you got to check out of that, and you, as you go, start to figure those type of things out and get better at it.
Trips to the right for Hutchinson. Second down, still 10. At the Hutch 37, leading 9-6. Shucker from the gun. Drops back, pumps, floats it downfield, got an open receiver just off the fingertips of Jalen Irwin. He had a couple of steps on 2 defenders, The ball was not badly thrown, but just a little bit too far. There's a flag dropped where the quarterback launched that pass.
This is probably going to be roughing the passer, and I'll come back to your comment about the throw. Personal foul, roughing the passer. It's 15 yards and a first down. Rusty, the pass by the quarterback was absolutely perfect. Let me tell you what happened there. The receiver came out of his route and kind of stutter-stepped and didn't go full speed. If he comes out of that route and goes full speed, he's running down the sideline into the end zone.
Penalty gives Hutchinson a first down across midfield. Dragons trying to create some space, leading 9-6. Just under 8 minutes to play in the second quarter.
And the officials are holding up play here, trying to let the defense substitute as the play clock is now down to 10. Hutchinson with the 1st and 10.
Dragons throw it over the middle. Low throw, but a nice pick nearly right off his fingertips, handling the reception for the Blue Dragons, and maybe the best catch that we have seen so far in this football game was Jonathan White. He's a 5'10", 200-pounder from Quitman, Georgia.
Picked it up basically off the turf. Spectacular catch, and there is a player down for Ellsworth, Iowa, in a lot of pain. I don't know if we're going to start to see some cramping, but it appears to be some kind of an injury to his leg.
The throw was good enough for a first down at the 37-yard line. We are joined by Josh Gooch, known by most of you as the athletic director at Hutchinson Community College. Had a unique opportunity this summer, was a caddy at the British Senior Open. We'll have to talk to him about that.
Well, let's see.
I want to know how heavy was that bag.
You know, the bag was not that heavy, Rusty, but I'm sure that my player felt like I was heavy.
Well, there might be something to be said about that.
Josh caddying for his good friend Bruce Vaughn, who 10 years ago won the British Senior Open Golf Championship.
Yeah, what a great guy. And the injured player for Ellsworth, Iowa, is C.J. Burris, and he is walking very gingerly off the field.
And very slowly. Dragons with a first down. They want to snap the football, but number 9,
yeah, you have to
not going very far.
Let the player get off the field first. Physical game. Boy, there's been some hitting.
He's walking in such a way, he's trying to shake something off so that he can perhaps come back in later.
Not sure.
But he's not going anywhere very quickly. Now he's to the sideline. Dragons ready with the football at the 37 of Ellsworth. Shucker takes the snap, and flags fly.
Been a lot of penalty flags. 8 penalties in this game for Ellsworth, Iowa. Hutchinson with just 3, but that'll be the 12th penalty flag we've seen here in the first half, and this will be a false start penalty against Hutchinson.
Nagging kind of penalty, but the Blue Dragons, after getting it to the 37-yard line, leading by a precarious 3 points, would like to get something out of this possession offensively. They'll have to start with a 15-yard pickup needed on first down back at the 42 of Ellsworth. Shucker, the youngster from Searcy, Arkansas. Looks like the Dragons trying to run the same play. Drops back, loads it up, throws, got an open receiver, and it is again just up, just half a foot too far, as the Dragons are starting to get some separation in that secondary. That time, Khalil McClain couldn't quite get to it.
You can see why the Dragons are excited about Shucker, though. Big-time arm, and he has missed at least 3 throws in this game by, like, fingertip plays, and it's going to get there. The timing will get there. He's got a really fun arm to watch. That was a great throw.
Yeah, the Dragon receivers are starting to create some space. This time the Dragons go on the reverse and fumble the football and have to dive on top of it back at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that's a huge loss of play that time, and things that happened in the first game as you're just trying to get the offense working, and now you're looking at a 3rd down and about 20.
Glenn, what's the attitude down on the sideline right now. Frustration?
Yeah, a little bit with the turnovers and some of the penalties going against them, but yet, as you and Robert describing, some big play, just about foot here, foot there, that might in another game turn into touchdowns.
Shucker unloads. A great grab at the 40-yard line. One-handed snag by the Blue Dragons. It'll be short of the first down, but what a terrific catch made on the sideline right there by Blue Dragon
Mitchell Tinsley. Yeah, made a second one-handed catch we've seen in this game, and Coach Rhodes just raved about the talent with this receiving core and thought it could be special. We've seen some signs of it in this game.
Punt time for the Blue Dragons.
See if Jones can catch a corner here.
He's had one spectacular punt. Moves up a step or two.
Wow, that's
kind of
beautiful.
Pooch kicks it upfield, and it is handled inside the 10-yard line, taken by Tariq Young on the fair catch, and it'll be first down for Ellsworth at their own 8.
Anytime you can get a punt inside the 20, you're happy. You get it inside the 10-yard line, you're ecstatic. And the Dragon defense has been spectacular. This is a time where you'd love to see them come out here and force a 3-and-out, get a punt, get good field position, and there'll be just enough time to try to get a score before half.
That secondary already has 2 interceptions, and this is an Ellsworth team that has not been able to run the football at all. So it is not inconceivable that the defense could put some points on the scoreboard here pretty quickly.
19 yards rushing in the game for Ellsworth, 44 for the Blue Dragons.
Quarterback is Mark Wright. Again, the running game not doing much. They'll try it, though, and they switched a wide receiver back to a running back, and Tariq Young, who's been the best offensive player of the game for Ellsworth, able to slip out to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, Josh Relaford, one of your defensive backs having to make the tackle. That hadn't happened much. It's been pretty much the D linemen and linebackers mopping everything up in the running game up to this point, but they busted one there.
Now a little bit better field position. And the quarterback wants to run with it and doesn't run far because getting there in a hurry for the Dragons, Jalen Pant. And it is for Mark Wright a gain of, let's call it maybe a yard. So it is second down, maybe 2 yards. Let's call it second down and 2 out at the 23. Right. Sends Tariq Young in motion behind him. Drops back, has loads of time, throws it over the middle. There's the pick. Dragons with a 3rd interception and taking it down to the 10-yard line after the takeaway. Latavian Beaton.
Rusty, I want you to look over at the 40-yard line because he just walked off the field, but they had Anthony Evans wide open. He was, there wasn't anyone within 10 yards. Quarterback missed, threw a bad pass. Fortunately for Hutchinson, a pick, and the Dragons are in business with just under 5 minutes to go.
Well, the Blue Dragons have had a million opportunities to create some offensive space between themselves and Ellsworth, but let's see if they can do it now as they start with a 1st and goal after the interception at the 10-yard line. 3 picks by the Dragon secondary.
Yeah, incredible. And there's going to be a timeout as Ellsworth not happy with the personnel they have on the field, so we're going to get a timeout. 4:58 to go. Hutchinson leads 9-6. They're in business. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back right after this.
When the air conditioning in your car doesn't work, it makes you feel like clothes left inside a dryer. If your car is making you hot and wrinkled, why not ride an air-conditioned RCAT bus to take you where you need to go? RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. All buses are ADA accessible, have great air conditioning, comfortable seats, and skilled drivers. Fares range between 50 cents and $1. Call 694-2913 for information.
Well, welcome back to Gowans Stadium as the Blue Dragons have it 1st and 10, ball on the 10. They have a 9-6 lead, and Glenn Grunwald, be nice to punch one in here.
Yeah, I would. You've got to take advantage of this. They weren't able to earlier on other than keep them in poor field position, but let's see what happens here.
Shucker is the quarterback, and the Dragons have a hole off the side and threw it pounding down in close to the goal line, down to about the 1-yard line. I believe for Hutchinson, the ball carrier was Aaron Collins.
Looked like it was going to be play action. He just stuck it out there, kind of a delayed draw. Nice job.
It was Collins on the carry, and he got 8.5 of the needed 10.
Punch it in here.
Quarterback continues to be Mason Shucker. Dragons trying to get their first significant lead of the game, and the Dragons try to throw it, and it is broken up in the end zone. Wow.
Fake the handoff, quick slant. Receiver was there, just missed it, and I like the gamble on second down. You virtually have 2 more downs to punch it in, get a yard here.
So it is a 3rd down, about 1.5 yards to go for the Blue Dragons.
Now the big fellas up front need to win.
The running back is Collins. The quarterback, Mason Shucker. Dragons shifting some personnel around on that offensive line. Now we're ready. There's the snap and the give and the touchdown. Nice blocking up the middle, and touchdown Aaron Collins. And the Blue Dragons extend their advantage to 15-6.
Collins' first touchdown as a Blue Dragon, and it was a no-doubter. All of it coming off the turnover. Hutchinson's secondary with 3 picks in the first half, and what a spectacular job finishing off that drive.
Now the extra point for the Blue Dragons. It's Sebastian Garcia on. Dylan Chesterman, that Hutchinson High School product, is the holder. Or the snapper, I should say.
And
the kick is up, and it is good. So it is Hutchinson 16 and Ellsworth 6. More football, 4:15 to go in the first half. We'll resume in just half a minute.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn on 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon athletics.
(16-6), the Blue Dragons with a couple of touchdowns, a couple of extra points, and a safety. 2 field goals for Ellsworth, and 4:15 remaining in what has been so far a first half with a lot of things in it. Dragons have done some things well. Dragon defense has been spectacular. 3 picks by the secondary. There have been 5 turnovers in the game. Neither coach will be happy with the fact that their team has 3, if you're talking about Ellsworth. And for Hutchinson, also a couple of turnovers. And there's a spinning kick taken at the 15-yard line by Tariq Young. And Young breaks to the outside, breaks free at the 40, at the 50, down the sideline. And I think he stepped out of bounds. They're going to say, or is it? I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds near the 35-yard line of Hutchinson. Dragons doing a little bit of napping on the return. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tariq Young, a 5'11", 180-pounder out of Lakeland, Florida, is a versatile player. He has caught a number of passes. He has probably the best run that Ellsworth has had in the first half, and he very nearly broke a kickoff return for 80 yards right there.
It's a couple of breakdowns on the kickoff, Glenn Grunwald, and they're going to have to kind of shore some things up in the kick game.
Yeah, defense has got to get with it.
So the Dragon defense again has to protect its turf.
And
at the 29-yard line, we may have a timeout, and we will. Ellsworth will take the break. Still 4 minutes to go in the first half. And Dragons with a lot of work yet to do. We'll see how they handle that starting in half a minute.
Nextech Wireless Advanced Pay gives you great coverage, 4G LTE data, and you'll love the price. Plans start at $25 a month. Nextech Wireless Advanced Pay is hassle-free too. No contracts, no credit checks, and you can even bring your own device. Sign up now and get a free month of service when you purchase a new device or receive a free Moto E smartphone with new activation. It's advance pay at Next Tech Wireless, starting at just $25 per month.
Well, if you're Hutchinson, you don't want to give back the touchdown that you just collected. And if you're Ellsworth, a team that, by the way, is shorthanded from a numbers standpoint, Josh Gooch, the AD for Hutchinson, pointing that out, big disparity in numbers of kids suited up. Well, they'd like to get into halftime, but they're not going to start very effectively as Mark Wright is caught in the backfield, manages to jerk free, and a quarterback turned a loss of 2 or 3 into a pickup of a couple. He might be shaken up.
Well, Kamaria Ganius that time had the quarterback in the backfield and let him go. Would have been a loss of maybe 3 on the play. And
it was a Dragon, actually, that was slow getting up. Josh Relaford, but he's going to be all right, I think. And you're right, Rob. Gaines had a chance.
Would have been a loss of at least 3, and Blue Dragon coming off the field here, walking a little gingerly, will be Relaford. Boy, he's been good in the secondary.
Yeah, he'll be back. I think he'll set out a player or 2. We'll see.
Good-looking moon over the skies here at Gowans Stadium on a beautiful night for football.
2nd down and 9. Quarterback wants to run. Blocker in front of him slants to the right side, and Mark Wright able to get down to the 23-yard line. Has to get to the 19 for a first down. 3:33 to go in the first half.
Jalen Pant, 34, penetration, making the tackle. This is a big 3rd down here. Might be a place on the field, though, where they'd go for it on 4th down.
Well, they've already kicked a couple of field goals. They are potentially in field goal range, but right now they're thinking about more than that as Hutchinson leads this game 16-6.
Independence leading Dodge 38-10. Iowa Western over Coffeyville 10-0.
Oh, a hole up the middle. And down to the 15-yard line with a first down goes Brennan McGaffey. First time he's carried a football. He's a 6-footer from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Latavian Beaton with the tackle.
First down at the 17-yard line. Again, the run, this time nowhere whatsoever for McGaffey to go. And the clock continues to tick. Still not that big a factor with 2:45 to play in the first half. But these teams have used up a lot of timeouts.
Sure like to get a stop here and keep them from scoring any points before the half.
2nd down, 10 at the Hutch 17. Mark Wright from the gun looks over at the sideline. McGaffey is a running back on the right hip of the quarterback. Taking a long time. Again, steals a peek at the sideline. Play clock at 9. Now finally Wright ready to go. Keeps the football, darts through a hole that closes quickly. Wright able to get only to the 14-yard line. Play looked like it might go for more than that, but that hole was closed in a hurry.
Jalen Pant again, 34, and it's going to be a 3rd down, about 8 situation coming up here. If you could get a stop here, probably going to see the field goal unit trot onto the field.
Well, 1:45 to go. I'm not sure why Ellsworth was taking so long. They took a long time to run that play. They don't have much in the way of timeouts, like 0.
Both teams without a timeout.
On 3rd down, ball thrown over the middle, and the Dragons were lucky because the pass intended over the middle, it was intended for Jordan Foster. He had a step on the Hutchinson defender, but the ball not quite on target, and that'll bring out the field goal team.
Kelvin Clemens was beaten on the slant, and you're right, Rusty. That ball, if it had been well thrown, would have been a touchdown, but there was good pressure by the Dragon defensive line that time, forcing the quarterback to throw it a little quicker than he wanted.
Adian Mohamedogic will try for his 3rd field goal of the first half, this one from 31 yards, and it is a line drive bullet that makes this a 16-9 football game with 80 seconds still remaining in the first half. We'll see how those seconds play out. It's been a good one. Hutch by 7. More in 30 seconds.
Hi, this is Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Superstore. We want to thank everyone for the great July sales. But now we are overstocked with great trade-ins. We have over 130 pre-owned vehicles in stock. Everything from lifted 2500 diesel pickups to a Range Rover, as well as vehicles under $6,000. So whatever your needs are, we have something for you. Come see us today at 1100 East 30th in Hutchinson or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
All right, 16-7. Let's see what Hutchinson could do with the last 80 seconds of the first half. You know they're talking about, let's see if we can get a good return here. This would be one of those situations where even if the kick were to go into the end zone, instead of taking a knee, you might take a chance on bringing it out. There are no timeouts left for either team, so barring some sort of a big play, it's going to be hard to score.
You know, you look at the statistics, 149 yards for Ellsworth, 142 for Hutchinson. That's even. 8 penalties in the first half for Ellsworth, Iowa. Hutchinson with just 4, but we've seen 6 turnovers in this first half.
Yeah, neither coach can be happy with that. From an offensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, you're tickled to death if you can get 3 takeaways.
Absolutely, and Hutchinson's defense has been good. And, you know, unfortunately, like we saw last year, they have been on the field, though, way too long. More depth this year, but...
And the same could be said, though, for Ellsworth.
Sure.
And they don't have the numbers that Hutchinson does. And let's see how Ellsworth wants to play this final 80 seconds.
See if we can get a good return here.
Here comes a kickoff, and it's a pretty good one. Fielded on the bounce at the 4-yard line, and quickly upfield, breaking to the outside. Pretty good return. Out to the 45-yard line on the return. Blue Dragons will get great field position.
Well, I was looking to see if there might be a flag come in late there because the returnee was tackled about 5 yards out of bounds, but the officials not electing to throw a penalty.
So to hear the throw for some long ones, guys, if you have it inside their territory or right behind their territory, I guess at the 46.
Well, you have 73 seconds to go. You don't have any timeouts. If you're trying to score, you're probably not going to run it more than once.
Be nice to get any kind of points, though, before halftime.
Mason Shucker goes with a run and somersaulted to the turf. His Blue Dragon running back, that was Jonathan White.
And the player that made the tackle for Ellsworth, Iowa, was shaken up. I can't quite see the number because it's clear across the other side of the field. It's number 2, and that is Judge.
Yeah. Marcello Judge. He's being helped to the sideline.
Boy, he absolutely put a stick on the Dragon running back, but I think he took maybe a bigger blow than the back did.
Not a very big kid, 5'9", 175. Dragons, no gain on first down, now second down, clock on the move, inside a minute to play. In the first half, Hutchinson with a 1-touchdown lead, 16-9. And boy, these teams are taking an eternity to get a playoff.
Obviously, Hutchinson right now is saying, okay, if we get something on this down, maybe we'll try to hurry things up.
And they go back to the run again, nothing.
Well, you got a 16-9 lead. Things haven't went your way in the first half. You lost one of your quarterbacks. You're probably saying, hey, let's go into the locker room, regroup. We got a whole second half to play, clean some things up, and win this football game.
Well, based on what we've seen the last 2 snaps, the Dragons may not run another play. Seconds ticking away. Hutchinson leading at 16.
That'll be it.
To set, or 16-9, and there will not be another snap. A very conservative end to the first half for the Hutchinson offense. Hutchinson, though, with the advantage as we take our halftime break. Hutchinson 16 and Ellsworth, Iowa 9. We'll pause a couple of minutes, be back with a look at the first half statistics. You know it as the Medicine Shop Game Capsule.
Needing repairs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the bag lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Riccar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your bag purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me Donna Pitzer, the bag lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Man, Wyatt and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
On an absolutely perfect opening night for football, Hutchinson Community College leading Ellsworth, Iowa at the halftime break, 16-9. This is the first Medicine Shop game capsule of the brand new sports season. You've heard me talking about the Medicine Shop for a lot of years, and for a lot of very, very good reasons. Suffice it to say, you'll find the Medicine Shop conveniently located at 14th and Main. They feature free delivery, outstanding service, competitive prices, and it has been a tremendous pharmacy for a long, long while. If you're looking for a pharmacy, look no farther than the Medicine Shop. Well, a nice crowd, maybe the biggest home crowd we've seen here in Gowans Stadium in the last 2 or 3 years, enjoying a competitive 7-point football game at halftime as Hutchinson leads it 16-9. The statistics pretty much indicating that it has been a defensive battle. 100 yards passing for Ellsworth, 88 for the Blue Dragons, but the Blue Dragons got a touchdown throw for one of their 2 touchdowns. Total offense in the first half for Ellsworth, 149 yards on 42 plays. Hutchinson, 35 plays, 143 yards. A statistic that will not please either coach would be turnovers. Each offense has turned the football over 3 times. But Hutchinson again with the lead here at the halftime break, 16-9. First points of the game came with 10:26 to go in the first quarter. It was a field goal for Ellsworth, and it moved them on top 3-0. That field goal by Adiyan Muhammadovich from 30 yards, and he wound up the half with 3 of those as he later connected from 28 yards and from 31 yards. Blue Dragons scores came on a wonderfully thrown ball. It was caught by Irwin, and he took it 65 yards for the score. That pass came from Brandon George, and George, subsequent to that, was injured, went to the sideline, and has not returned to the game. Hutchinson got a safety on a tackle of the opposing quarterback in the end zone by Latrell Bankston. And then finally Hutchinson's last touchdown came on a run by Aaron Collins from a yard out. And the Blue Dragons in Ellsworth in a good one, a close one, 16-9. We're going to pause a couple of more minutes. We'll be back with halftime from Gowans.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name-brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
When you have kids in school, there are lots of things to remember and keep track of, like school physicals and sports physicals, and the very important immunizations. So to you and your children, welcome to Prairie Star Health Center, whether you have insurance or not. Pediatrician David Smith wants to make sure your children stay healthy. He's here for you at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
Good evening, everybody. 16-9 at halftime. The Blue Dragons into the dressing room with a 7-point lead here at intermission. Other games throughout the league with 13-10 to go in the fourth quarter. Independence is extending their lead on Dodge City, 38-13. Iowa Western with a 16-0 lead now in the third quarter with 10 minutes remaining over the Ravens of Coffeyville. Those are the only three games going on tonight. There'll be others coming up this weekend. Now joining me, Sean Boston, who has helped us out with volleyball here at the national tournament. He's done more than about anything, a lot of broadcasting for such a young age of anybody that I know. Sean, glad to have you along. And you've been over here. You're helping out with the KJCCC office as well with the conference, and going to be doing some high school football around here as well, game of the weeks for Ad Astra. So you're going to be a busy young man. But tell me about your summer. I'm intrigued. You did arena football on the road for Wichita.
Yeah, the Wichita Force did their games this season. I was asked in March actually to come on and spent the whole season with them. I only missed the week one game at Salina, but got to travel with them all over. Went to Albuquerque, New Mexico twice. Went down to went to Frisco, Texas. We went to Dallas. We also traveled to Moline, Illinois. So I mean, we got to travel a lot of places with the teams. I was telling some people earlier, the first time I ever saw an indoor football game is when I was writing for the Wichita Eagle. I covered a Force game 2 or 3 years ago, and that was the only indoor football game I've ever been to. And then, I was asked to do this gig for the Force, and so the first broadcast I had was only the second game I'd ever seen of indoor football, and my goodness,
it's a different monster, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. And, those guys are so quick, and just 8 men on each side of the ball, and 80-yard field instead of, or excuse me, even shorter than that.
Shorter than that.
It's just seeing that side of the game, and a lot of those guys played college football somewhere. Some have played at a higher level than others, but it's just a great opportunity I had. And being able to watch that and cover it all season long.
I saw you had Region 6, and then you were just negotiating the deal at that time. And I remember you saying you're going to go home and brush up on the rules. Yeah. How different were the rules for arena football?
Oh, it was a lot different than the 11-man game that we're used to. Players got away with a little bit more at that level because they're considered professionals, so they were able to really interact with the crowd and kind of. It was weird because if the home team player scored a touchdown and let's say wanted to toss the football up in the crowd, they could, but an away player couldn't do that, or else they were were penalized because those footballs are over $100 a pop, and so there's a lot of different rules that were different than 11-man game that we're used to, and like I said, just a lot quicker than what we see around here in the indoor game.
Let's switch over to the Jayhawk Conference real quick. Saw you at the media day back in late July, and you can tell already from this game and the other scores, Indy up 38-13 on Dodge City. Iowa Western 16-6 now on the Ravens, so the Ravens have got on the board. This is going to be such a competitive league.
Oh, yeah, and you look at Fort Scott was picked last in the league, and Cale Pitt got up there, the head coach of Fort Scott, and he was, going on. He was saying how tough this conference is, but you look at Fort Scott, I think they're going to be a really surprising team. They have their starting running back is a running back transfer from Michigan, played at Michigan last year. They got a quarterback that's really good, wide receiver transfer from Michigan. The running back played, a handful of games last year. Wide receiver, I believe, played 10 games last year for Michigan. So, I mean, for a team that is picked dead last in the conference to have that many players transfer in from that high a caliber team, it's going to be a really exciting year. And like the scores we already see tonight, Iowa Western is ranked number 2 in the preseason poll heading into tonight's game. And Coffeyville held them scoreless in the first quarter, and then Iowa Western scores the points in the second quarter. But, I think this conference is extremely competitive this year, especially now that the teams are getting more used to, especially the coaches, getting more used to this out-of-state
out-of-state rules and rosters, yeah.
So I think it's going to be another exciting year, and I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be fighting for that top spot.
With the Jayhawk Conference, what else do you do for the conference as well? You kind of intern with both the Greater Wichita Sports Commission, but also you travel around to the different games. I think you said Mark Patrick's down at that Raven game down at Coffeyville.
Yeah, so Mark is designated me the media assistant for the conference. Do a lot of work on the Twitter, some of the website stuff, and just kind of going different venues, different games every week, and kind of seeing and putting this conference out there. This is a conference that, is known for their football, but there's a lot of other athletic programs in this conference that are superb. You look at Barton, their men's track and field team won nationals last year. You have Coffeyville, who wins Division II nationals in volleyball. And Cowley was also there at the national tournament. So, I mean, this conference is more than just a football conference, and it's kind of now in today's age with social media and everything running pretty much everything we do, getting this conference out there and getting it more looks from people all over the country is something we're really focusing on.
Streaming has been such a big facet as well. That, to me, has really opened up the conference. A lot of different directions that you can go with streaming, and I think it's made awareness for community college athletics even more.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And then you throw in the Last Chance U, which Netflix filmed last year, Independence, and they're with them again this year. Just so many ways that this conference is being put on the map, and right now, I mean, everybody, you either hate Jason Brown or you love Jason Brown, and Independence, and just seeing this conference, where it's at right now, and seeing all the coverage and media it's getting across the nation is really awesome.
It's a really good things to have. Now, there's some rumors out there. Well, number one of the rumors, and it's pretty factual, is that some of the Arizona teams will be dropping football after this year, just too expensive for them. And there's even some rumors regarding California looking to possibly gaining some interest on coming into the NJCAA.
Yeah, and Arizona, you talked about that. 5 schools after this fall, they will no longer be playing football. And you look at some of those teams. Arizona Western is a powerhouse down there. They played Garden City a couple years ago in the national championship down there. You have Eastern Arizona that comes up here and is played in the Salt City Bowl, the last 2 years?
Last 2 years.
Last year. So, I mean, just everything is being considered so expensive. And I thought Jeff Sims brought up a big point at Media Day in July, is saying that we've got to promote this conference and promote everything we can, because football is dying at the junior college level, and it shows with Arizona dropping 5 schools after this season. So as much as we can do to keep the game of football alive in the junior college ranks, because you look at so many of these players that have played junior college football that are going on in the NFL. Look at Cam Newton, All-American of Blinn, now is a Pro Bowler, and in the NFL, and so there's just so many players that have played in the junior college ranks that want to keep it alive.
Talk about everything on your resume. You have writing for the Wichita Eagle, writing for the KJCCC, broadcasting as well, and even at the high level of arena. Can't you make up your mind about what you want to do?
I know it's tough, but
You've been blessed to have some great opportunities.
Exactly, and I started writing for the Wichita Eagle actually when I was still a senior in high school. So that's crazy to think that I'm 18 years old and writing for the largest newspaper in the state of Kansas, and my heart has been in broadcasting as long as I can remember. Growing up, listening to guys like Bob Davis with KU,
Wyatt Thompson,
Wyatt Thompson at K-State. I've actually got to go up and shadow Wyatt a few times, and also Brian Haney with KU. I actually saw KU beat Texas a few years ago, one of the few wins that you'll ever see KU get in the David Beatty era. But I've just been, like you said, blessed with a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different places that I've been able to call a game, and I think I counted there to have called at least one game in 14 states so far. So
well, and you also got a state championship under your belt because of Bishop Carroll last year. You followed them, and they were able to be state champions, so that had to be a big thrill for you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Calling the 5AC championship last November down in Pittsburgh, beautiful venue, Carney Smith Stadium, hosted the Shrine Bowl about a month ago, and Bishop Carroll, a powerhouse in 5A, and being able to follow them all 13 games last year, every game I was at, calling and being along for that ride, and then capped off with a state championship, which a lot of people didn't see them beating. Randy Dryling's St. Thomas Aquinas team. So that was a lot of fun, and another thing I can check off my resume.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it all the time. I'll catch you a couple times on my local talk show that I get going, and we see you from time to time. Hope to see more of you. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Again, Sean Boston, doing great work all around the state of Kansas, and you'll be hearing us do some local high school around this area as well. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. 16-9, Blue Dragons on top. It's third quarter just around the corner. We'll be back with more right here in 2 minutes.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
When the air conditioning in your car doesn't work, it makes you feel like clothes left inside a dryer. If your car is making you hot and wrinkled, why not ride an air-conditioned RCAT bus to take you where you need to go? RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. All buses are ADA accessible, have great air conditioning, comfortable seats, and skilled drivers. Fares range between 50 cents and $1. Call 694-2913 for information.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon athletics.
Well, welcome back to halftime at Gowans Stadium. Our halftime score, Hutchinson leading 16-9 in what was a pretty long first half. We had 6 turnovers, a multitude of penalties, and a lot of passes thrown in that first half, Mr. Hilst, and it all added up to a 16-9 Hutchinson lead.
Well, you'd like to be on top by more than that, obviously, if you are Hutchinson, but both teams have made so many mistakes on offense, it has been hard to get much in the way of separation. Blue Dragons do have the one touchdown advantage. Hutchinson received the kickoff to start the game, so it is going to be Ellsworth that will have the football to start the third quarter. The first game of a football season that shows right now in the eyes of almost every football team a lot of promise. Everybody dreaming about maybe this is that magical season. Who knows? Reality starts to intrude before too long, and some teams realize, hey, we're not as good as we wanted to be. But right now, both of these teams still dreaming about great football seasons. They obviously each have a lot of things that they want to correct, a lot of things that they did well in that first half. If you're the Blue Dragons secondary, you gave up some passing yardage, 100 yards, but you got 3 picks. But as Rob correctly pointed out, one of those picks came if the quarterback had looked the other way and thrown, he had probably a touchdown pass. So mistakes being made. That's the nature of the game. That's why you have coaches. That's why it's a game.
I thought Hutchinson Rusty did a good job of kind of limiting penalties. 4 first-half penalties your first game, that is outstanding. Last year, you remember, we talked some games, especially early, where Hutchinson would have 12, 13, 15 penalties in a game, and that is so tough to overcome. So they really looked good from that aspect in the first half.
If you're Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes, I think you're looking for more consistency out of your offense. Hutchinson really hasn't done much in a way of sustaining drives. It has been a battle of field position as much as anything. Dragon defense was, you'd have to give the defense a pretty good grade for that first half effort, surrendering just 3 field goals.
Yeah, Monty Montgomery was special, the Dragon linebacker. Number 44, we talked about him, Jalen Pickney. He was really good. And Jalen Pant called his name a lot. Some guys really stepping up.
Dragon kickoff is going to float into the end zone and will not be returned. So it will be a first down at the 25-yard line for the visiting Panthers of Ellsworth, Iowa, who trail 16-9. Both teams struggling a little bit at the quarterback position. Jack Bastable, who played much of the first half for Ellsworth, has been taken out of the game, hasn't returned. And Hutchinson quarterback Brandon George, who threw a touchdown pass, a beautiful throw to Jalen Irwin of 65 yards. Not long after that, collided helmet to helmet with a defensive player, and we understand he's been taken to the hospital.
Yeah, that was a big-time hit, a vicious hit.
And we go back to the run, and the most effective player on the field for Ellsworth has been Tariq Young. He gets the first carry of the second half and makes it a positive gain of 6 out to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Josh Relaford making the tackle from the secondary position. That's one of the better runs for Ellsworth, a gain of about 6.
Relaford is a young man that was shaken up in the first half, only to return for Hutchinson. 2nd down and 4. Wright is the quarterback. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, breaks a tackle, and is across the 35-yard line for a first down.
Another tackle by Monty Montgomery, but as you said, it was enough for a first down, and Montgomery's going to come off the field for a second. I don't know if he was shaken up.
Well, obviously, and there's going to be some yardage tacked on to the end of it, because the Dragons, after we bragged about them being relatively penalty-free in the first half, get whistled down for a personal foul.
Could you see who that was on, Glenn?
We'll see what's going to happen here.
The penalty takes it across the 50 to the 49-yard line. A good opportunity for Ellsworth here in the early stages of the second half. Wright has a man in motion, takes the snap, will carry it himself, takes it to the outside, does a pretty good job of running it, and turns it into a gain of about 5. better blocking on that offensive line.
Absolutely. They made some adjustments, and officials are going to stop the clock. I'm not sure why. Was there a player injured, or was there a flag?
I'm not seeing anything, but they have frozen the clock for some reason.
Tackle again, that time by 44 Pickney.
It is a second down, short 5 for Ellsworth at the Hutchinson 44-yard line. Mark Wright continues at quarterback, running effectively. This is a new quarterback. He drops back, loads it up, throws downfield, has a receiver. Caught at the 15-yard line, taken down to the 6-yard line. Once again on the carry, or rather on the catch, Jordan Foster. He has done a great job. The ball was perfectly thrown by Byron Jarrett in his first stint at quarterback, and Ellsworth has it in business at the Hutchinson 6-yard line.
Quick snap.
And a keep by the quarterback, and he takes it a yard forward to the 5. Byron Jarrett, impressive debut. How about these stats physically? 6'3", 250 pounds. He's a big kid.
Got a flag on the play. Tackle in the backfield that time by Clarence Hicks, defensive lineman from Florida. But there was a penalty thrown, and play has been stopped, as it has so many times in this football game. Now the official...
We're not getting a whole lot of quick information.
Substitution, Dragon defense, and that's going to be half the distance to the goal line, and all of a sudden Ellsworth has a chance to get this football game tied up.
It is going to be hard to stop them here. First and goal from about the 3. Again, the quarterback, third quarterback used, Byron Jarrett. Jarrett keeps, quarterback draw, caught in the backfield, might have fumbled the football. Dragons scramble for it. Let's see.
Boy, they got it back.
Yeah, they did, barely, though.
Oh, would that have been a big play? That would have been the 4th turnover of the game, but maybe the most costly for Ellsworth. But they maintain the possession, lose a couple of yards. You'll lose actually about 4 yards. It'll be second down and goal from the 7.
Dragon defense wants to force them into kicking a field goal.
Jarrett takes a snap. It's a low one. He'll run with it and actually hand it off at the last minute. Play net's only a couple of yards. Nice job of carrying out the fake by the quarterback.
That was Jalen Pant again. He has been an absolute terror from his linebacker position for this Ellsworth Panther offense.
It is third and goal. Still a little better than 5 yards to go.
Blitz.
Quarterback gets some pressure, throws it into the end zone, broken up in the corner of the end zone. Back corner of the end zone. A pass was intended for Jordan Foster, well covered by the Dragon defender.
That was number 4, Kelvin Clemens. Now, guys, he is the one who got beat on the long pass play that got Ellsworth in position here. And that time, he played that as well as a defensive back can play it. And you do what you got to do. You force them to kick a field goal.
Field goal kicker is on, looking for his 4th success of the game. It's Adian Mohammedagic. This one from 22 yards head on.
He's been special in this game.
High snap, they get it down, the kick is up. Again, it is drilled right down the middle. 4 field goals in the game now for Ellsworth, and they're within 4 of the Dragons, 16-12. Hutchinson will touch the football for the first time in the second half when we return to Gowans in half a minute.
Next Tech Wireless Advanced Pay gives you great coverage, 4G LTE data, and you'll love the price. Plans start at $25 a month. Next Tech Wireless Advanced Pay is hassle-free too. No contracts, no credit checks, and you can even bring your own device. Sign up now and get a free month of service when you purchase a new device or receive a free Moto E smartphone with new activation. It's Advanced Pay at Next Tech Wireless, starting at just $25 per month.
And you're listening to Blue Dragon football on KHUT Hutchinson Country 102.9. Glad to have you aboard as the Dragons holding on to a 16-12 lead. Rusty?
Dragons have a trio of backs back deep. Marquise Whitmire back there. Also back there for the Dragons, Desmond Jackson and Khalil McClain. In Ellsworth with a nice drive on their opening possession of the second half. Turned it into their fourth field goal of the game. And the Blue Dragons with a lot of work to do before getting out of Gowans Stadium in this one with a win. Hutchinson looking for its 11th straight win in the opener. That wind that we talked about at the beginning of the game, well, it's completely gone. It is calm out there. It is about as nice a night for football as you can get, and a nice crowd looking on.
Be nice to get a good return here and set your offense up.
Kick is angled to the right, taken at the 12-yard line. Jackson to the 15, to the 20, running diagonally, gets to the corner, turns it at the 35, takes it up field. Actually, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. So pretty good return by Desmond Jackson, who has very, very good speed. And the Dragons' first opportunity to put points on the board will start 65 yards from the end zone.
Glenn Grunwald, appears the flag kind of limp now, and the wind has died down.
Yeah, there's hardly any at all. You look at those goalposts, those flags are laying straight down, so it shouldn't affect the throwing whatsoever.
Jackson Meade, of course, bringing you Glenn's comments from down on the sideline. Dragons start with Mason Shucker in the gun. High snap, Shucker pulls it down, throws it upfield, complete at the 40-yard line. Threw it to Leroy Watson, the tight end, and Watson able to pick up a couple of more out to the 42. Let's call it a gain of 7.
Watson is a special tight end. That time, quarterback maybe off the mark a little bit. Tight end had to adjust to it, and he lost his footing. Might have been a first down, had to throw been just a little bit more on the money.
Second down, very manageable. Yeah, more like 4 yards to go than the 3 I originally thought. Shucker takes the snap. Hands off again, new running back, but a nice gain off the right side. Dragons running right on 2 straight occasions. This time it was Aaron Collins. He takes it from the 42 to the 47. That's enough for a Blue Dragon first down.
Collins, the starting running back. He's a transfer from NC State, and Dragons with 2 or 3 running backs. They've been platooning out there in this game.
Both of these teams running a lot of plays, both with, I don't know whether you call them hurry-up offenses, but they don't waste much time.
Ellsworth has been much quicker than Hutchinson, that's for sure.
Shucker in the gun. Fakes the handoff, throws, looking for a receiver that had a half a step, and that was Dyron Donaldson. Couldn't get to the pass. It's incomplete.
Quarterback young, you got to recognize that. That particular time, they had deep safety coverage over the top with the corner, so he was basically throwing into double coverage. Sometimes you got to come off that read and look where there's some single coverage, and you gain that experience as each play goes by.
Shucker can throw it quite a ways.
He's got an arm. Just can't force it and make mistakes. Defense is too good.
Second down and 10. Do you go back to the run again? Man in motion across the formation from left to right. Taking a lot of time. Hand off and right straight ahead. The big hole up in the middle and throw it for a first down to the 40-yard line. Pounds Aaron Collins.
And a couple of those Dragon offensive guys saying, let's go, let's go. We've got them on their heels right now, and just keep pounding the ball at them.
13 on the first down carry for Aaron Collins. At the 40 now.
Well, we haven't seen that much speed at that running back position since Kamara.
And referring to Alvin Kamara, who went on to Tennessee, became Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. Subsequent to that,
blitz coming.
And the Dragons this time don't run right into the blitz, but the blitz messes up the running play to the point that it gains nothing.
They just, they are reckless. I don't know that I've seen a team this early blitz just constantly. Every play, they're bringing an extra guy from one side or the other.
Kind of like to see the Dragons throw some quick outs to the left, to the right, and see if you can take advantage of the gamble on defense. Second down, Actually, more like 11 yards to go for the Dragons at the 41-yard line. Hutchinson leading at 16-12. 9.5 to play, third quarter. Back to throw is Shucker. Stays in the pocket, throws it upfield. And receiver, I think, might have run the wrong route. It is an incomplete pass. And number 80 for the Blue Dragons, that's Mitchell Tinsley, get to the inside. And I think the quarterback, Shucker, thought he was going to go toward the sideline.
Left tackle for Hutchinson's helmet came off, so he has to come out. Dragons playing with a fresh left tackle. We'll see if that plays a factor here on this crucial third down.
Third down, 11. First drive of the second half for Hutchinson. Whitmire sets up in the slot on the left side. Shucker takes a high snap, pulls it down, being chased by three defenders, throws it upfield, threw it into triple coverage. Fortunately, it's out of bounds. He was looking for his tight end, but had no chance whatsoever to get it to him. Fourth down, and the Dragon drive will end at the 41-yard line.
Yep. Glenn, they'll send the punting unit out.
Hutchinson defense has been spectacular. The Hutchinson offense has had its moments, but not much in the way of extended drives. 16-12 with 9:19 to go in the third.
If you could get this ball inside the 10-yard line here, it would be advantage Hutchinson.
Matt Jones is the punter. He's been a good one. Floats the punt up, and a fair catch made at the 10-yard line.
Beautiful. Absolutely what you want your punter to do in that situation. Coverage unit was down there to make the punt returnee call for a fair catch, and the Dragons now have to hope the defense can hold. Opening drive for Ellsworth, they took it down the field. Fortunately, Hutchinson held them to a field goal.
Well, right now, I think if you're grading units, you'd grade the Hutchinson defense so far fairly well.
Very well. They have been better more times than not. Special teams, we've had some leaks on the kickoff coverage. A couple times Ellsworth has busted off a few of those, so some work to do with special teams, and we know we've had some trouble with the offense.
Ellsworth goes back to Mark Wright at the quarterback spot as they start at their own 10-yard line, shift a couple of players from the left to the right side of the formation, man in motion the other direction, a lot of motion and that handoff, and that's no gain.
Yeah, blown up that time in the backfield. Number 40, Kamari Ganius with a spectacular play.
So it is basically no gain whatsoever on first down. Second down, 10. Wright throws it out in the flat, and a little bit of room to run out there. Catch made at the 10, taken out to the 17, maybe the 18-yard line. Once again, the throw was to Jordan Foster. He's caught maybe half a dozen balls in this game. He has been pretty effective along with Tariq Young, but it is shy of the first down by 4 yards. It'll be third down.
5 catches for Foster, 70 yards in the game.
Wright needs 4. Dragons would like to force a punt here, get field position. And it's quarterback draw, and he will not get the first down.
Glenn, the Dragons that time up to the task.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of reading that run now. So the only thing that's hurt them, guys, is the passing game, and it's been excellent for Ellsworth. Take nothing away from it, but fourth down and 1 right here is punt time for the Panthers.
Blue Dragon defense once again does the job. Offense should get pretty good field position, barring a spectacular punt. Safety back for the Dragons is the ever-dangerous Jalen Irwin. Yeah, we will see whether the Dragons can get the offense in gear. It's a 16-12 game. Hutchinson with the lead, middle of the third quarter, and we're going to have a timeout taken.
Officials say Ellsworth wants a timeout before they punt the football.
So we'll pause briefly. Dragons by 4 and anticipating a punt when we come back in third.
Hi, this is Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Superstore. We want to thank everyone for the great July sales. But now we are overstocked with great trade-ins. We have over 130 pre-owned vehicles in stock. Everything from lifted 2500 diesel pickups to a Range Rover, as well as vehicles under $6,000. So whatever your needs are, we have something for you. Come see us today at 1100 East 30th in Hutchinson or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
All right, it is indeed a punting situation for Ellsworth, and the punter is Tyler Amundsen. He stands inside his 5-yard line. Irwin awaits at the Hutchinson 42. 4-point lead for Hutchinson. Season opener for both teams. Low snap. Kick is off. It is low. It is returnable. Field at the 45-yard line. Irwin trying to make something happen, able to get back to the 50, now reverses his field, makes a nice cut. He's at the 45, 40 with a blocker in front of him. A flag flies. Irwin takes it down to the 20-yard line, but a lot of this is coming back for an illegal block.
Block illegally occurring at about the 35-yard line, and so right in front of the official. This will be an easy call, and what was a spectacular return now will be negated.
But the Blue Dragons, even after the walk-off, which will likely take it back somewhere near the midfield mark, will have great field position. One more touchdown for Hutchinson in this game, and you would all of a sudden start to feel pretty comfortable the way that Blue Dragon defense has been playing.
So indeed, a block in the back. That'll cost Hutchinson some field position. Dragons now with their 7th penalty, and we bragged about them in the first half. They've already had 3 penalties here in the second half.
I think there are a lot of players on this football team for Hutchinson that are capable of making spectacular plays. What I would like to see happen is the Blue Dragons to put together a sustained drive.
It's been tough. Young quarterback, true freshman, and right now it'll be up to Shucker to try to get the offense some points here.
Penalty takes it out to the 47-yard line. We're on the Ellsworth side of midfield. And the Dragons go with a run. A hold for Jackson at the 40, at the 35, breaks to the outside, breaks a tackle. He's at the 30, battling for yards. Knocked off his pins right at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 17.
He just has it. I mean, the ability to make a cut or two, and with great speed. Jackson has been spectacular for the Dragons, and he really has got it done. 40-plus yards rushing on just 7 carries. That's about a 5.7 yard per carry average.
Naeem Smith, a defensive back, slow to get up for Ellsworth. You wonder if the numbers disparity between these two squads might start to be a factor. It is a relatively warm night, the opening night of the football season. Dragons have it at the 30-yard line of Ellsworth with a 16-12 lead. Inside 7 to play in the third quarter. This time a throw over the middle and incomplete. Nice pattern run by Blue Dragon Khalil McClain, but couldn't quite get him the ball. He was open inside the 10.
Well, once again, the Dragons have to run their left tackle off the football field as his helmet pops off. So a substitution here on a 2nd down and 10, and that's another wide open wide receiver the quarterback has missed.
Well, let's see if that means the Dragons go to all passes. Nope, they'll go back to Jackson, and Jackson does a good job to gain a yard or two. Got it to him right in the middle of the field, and he kept looking for a little lane to cut through. There's traffic in all those lanes, and down he goes.
That incomplete pass, all you needed was a little touch on it, a little error underneath it, because he had the right pattern. You commented on that, Rod. The pattern was run right. He just needed to put it in there a little bit tighter and a little touch on it.
He's trying to make things happen too quickly. It comes with maturity, and right now he's just maybe a step behind in his processing of the plays.
Here comes pressure. Shucker throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, no chance that time. He was flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right. Now it's going to bring up a 4th down situation.
And so far, this Blue Dragon football team, when it throws unsuccessfully on first down, has not been able to get 10 yards on the next plays. And now the Dragons, with a choice, they're at the 28-yard line. A field goal would be a 45-yard effort.
Yeah, probably not going to see that. This is a place where you go for it on fourth down. See what your quarterback's made of. Give him some time.
Shecker back to throw. Pressure comes in a hurry. Tries to set up the screen. Completes it, but it's going to go from
big loss.
The 30-yard line back to the 35, 36-yard line. Well read by Ellsworth. And Ellsworth, so far in the third quarter, has outplayed the Dragons, who still hold a 4-point lead, 16-12.
Well, Glenn, it's up to the defense again.
Well, and you might remember that series of downs. That was an ugly series of downs right there, even though they got the first down. Could not do anything with it, and a little frustration right there for the young man that caught the football. Wasn't able to get it cleanly. His screen pass was set up for him, but defense has got to get it done now, guys.
Glenn, I think this Blue Dragon football team almost has to run the football on first down.
Yep.
Try to get some positive yardage. When they throw, they seem very uncomfortable at second down and 10.
Yeah, have a little dump passes, be successful now. Why? At least for right now.
Ellsworth could take the lead with a touchdown on this drive, and they go to work as the Dragons come with a lot of pressure. And Wright rolling to his right, throws it upfield, and it is intercepted again by the Dragons. Fourth pick by the Dragons secondary. This time it is plucked away by Art Green. Are they going to say he picked it off the turf?
The interception occurred. There's a penalty flag. It's going to be a hold against the offense. It'll be Hutchinson's football, and the fourth pick by a Dragons secondary player.
And that one was spectacular. Well, if you're looking for positive, if you're looking for superlatives, I think this secondary has a chance to be really, really special.
I saw the flag immediately, so I was like, I'm not concerned if they complete the pass, but then you get a bonus and you get the pick, so Hutchinson gets the ball right back. But sooner or later, the Dragon offense has got to step up and match what the defense has done. And last year we waited for it the entire season, and it never happened.
Fourth turnover of the game for Ellsworth. Fourth pick by the Hutchinson secondary. Here comes pressure. Dragons fake the run, throw it over the middle, incomplete.
That was a great job defensively that time. Getting a hand on the ball was Lawson Cook 22 because the slant was open.
Yeah, they tried to get it to Dalrone Donaldson. Pretty good target at 6'3", but just simply couldn't get it.
I like the play action and the pass on first down. Try to mix it up.
But again, it is second down and 10, and this is a Dragon team that has struggled with second and long. Let's see what they do here. Do they keep throwing?
Well, Ellsworth's going to keep blitzing, I can tell you that.
And the Dragons will go with the run, and they get a batch of yards around the left side, all the way out to the 45-yard line on the carry for Hutchinson. Aaron Collins, this 6', 214-pound tailback from Plant City, Florida, has some speed.
13th carry. He's kind of been the workhorse. Over 45 yards rushing now in the game.
Dragons have been most effective when they run the football.
Oh, no question. And we are going to get there's a timeout on the field. Was it a called timeout?
It's injury timeout, guys.
Okay. Looks like a Dragon is down. And probably a cramp.
And well, they tend to the hobbled Blue Dragon. Let's take a 30-second break.
Airs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the bag lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Dakar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your bag purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me Donna Pitzer, the bag lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
It was just a cramp being helped off the football field, actually walking off under his own power. Blue Dragon, what is that, 58? That was Brian Thomas. He's a big kid, 311-pounder from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Hot, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of it.
Dragons go back to the run, and this time there is not a whole lot available for Aaron Collins. Got about a yard. 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Hutchinson 16, Ellsworth, Iowa 12. Blue Dragons looking for their 11th consecutive season opening win.
Like to see Shucker get into a groove. Just 6 out of 18, does have a pick in the game, only throwing for 25 yards through the air, and just really never has got on track. They said he was spectacular in training camp, and so far tonight just has not been able to really get into a rhythm. Been under duress a lot.
He rolls right and again misses his tight end.
Well, that went right through the tight end's hand, Rusty. That's a ball that has to be caught every day of the week, and Leroy Watson, who's been good, says, yep, that's my bad. I have to catch that.
But again, it is third down and 10. 4:35 remains in the third quarter. Hutchinson has not scored in the third quarter. Ellsworth has, to its credit, in the period, the fourth field goal of the game. Hutchinson with a narrow 4-point bulge. Shucker, this time with time to throw, throws it out in the flat, caught at the 40-yard line and taken out to the 46. That's a gain of about 3, not nearly enough for a first down. Put it in the hands of Aaron Collins, and he needed a block that wasn't there.
Well, Glenn, you send the punting unit out, the defense will have to live up to expectations again.
Yeah, they're going to have to carry it again. So you talked about the humidity. Down 10 degrees from a game time of 82, it's 72, but it is humid down here.
Yeah.
Humid up there, too, if you look up in your windows, guys. A little fogginess going on.
Definitely a muggy night.
Matt Jones will punt it away. Should be able to hit it hard here. Gets off another beauty. He has done a great job of punting. This one will bounce down and actually takes a backwards bounce. That's not a kind bounce for the Dragons. It is touchdown by the Dragons at the 22-yard line, and it is there that Ellsworth will start again in a position where a touchdown would give them the lead.
Well, I think the offense a little bit frustrated. Defense, I think more depth than last year, especially along that defensive front. And they're being tested tonight on a hot, muggy night. They've been on the field a lot.
Well, both teams' defenses have been out there because, frankly, the offenses have not done much.
Nope.
Little bit of breeze, but not much to affect this game.
Both teams basically 200 yards of offense through almost 3/4 of this game.
And again, the straight handoff, and there's just nothing there. This time the quarterback for Ellsworth, they've gone back to the big kid. That's Byron Jarrett. He's this 250-pounder. Running back for Ellsworth was Brennan McGaffey, and he got stuffed for a loss of about a yard on first down. Second down. This time the quarterback pulls it, throws it upfield, and it is incomplete.
Oh, and a late flag. I mean, the play was already over, and one of the back officials is going to call pass interference on the Dragon defender. Glenn, that was a late call.
No, he threw it right when the ball zinged by him. He took a little wind up to throw that, but what he saw was a hand from the defensive back. He had a hand all over him running down the sideline.
That's Kelvin Clemens. He's had some trouble tonight at times, and that one right there cost the defense first down and 15 yards.
Byron Jarrett showed us pretty good arm.
And that is now the 8th penalty against Hutchinson.
Again, the score 16-12, 3:12 left in the first quarter. Hutchinson will next play a week from this Saturday, and we will be with the Dragons in Independence, where we'll meet an Independence team ranked number 5 in the country and an Independence team that has pretty much dismantled Dodge City tonight on the road.
Yeah, they'll have to play better. Let's put it that way.
After all of the officiating is done, it's a first down, and the ball floated way too high, floated to the sideline, intended for Tariq Young, incomplete.
Clemens, good coverage that time. Quarterback did have some time for a change and just airmailed the receiver. Neither offenses have been sharp.
No, neither team has really been able to get to the opposing team's quarterback with any degree of frequency, but they have not been effective. There really hasn't been an effective quarterback in this game so far. Here's a running play, and McGaffey shakes free for 4 yards out to the 41, where it will be a third down, and let's call it close to 6 yards to go.
Pretty tough to run against this Hutchinson defense, as Clarence Hicks making the tackle that time from his backer position.
All right, 3 wideouts to the right side on 3rd down and 6. Quarterback being chased and grabbed from behind. How about that for explosive power? In a hurry from behind, Clarence Hicks.
I'm telling you, made back-to-back plays for the defense, and Clarence Hicks right now came around that left tackle like he wasn't there, and that was one of the best plays for the defense tonight. That was a must force punt situation there, and the Dragons again will get the football back.
Yeah, showing tremendous speed off the edge right there.
Hicks, an 8-yard sack on the play. And now the Dragons should get the ball back. Irwin waiting for a chance to show what he is capable of. Tyler Amundsen is the punter. He stands at his own 20-yard line, gets a perfect snap, gets it off. Irwin can't field it. I'm not sure whether he touched it or not. Big chase for the football. Now it's been touched. Dragons have to pick it up, and they're going to wind up stuck back inside the 3, inside the 5-yard line at the 3.
What a killer play. Hutchinson, first and foremost, fortunate to have the football, but that's the kind of punt, as you'll learn, you just let that go. Don't even try to come running 20 yards at full speed and catch it down at your feet and try to make a play with it. You just have to let that one go.
And compounding the problem, a Dragon is down.
I think it's the guy.
It's Irwin.
Yep, that was trying to make a play.
Yeah, he tried to field a tough punt. It might be a cramp.
Man, he touched the guys, and from my vantage point, Gibbons tapped it back to him because I think Gibbons knew that he wasn't for sure going to be able to get to the football, and then Irvin got it, but I think it is a cramp right now. He's cramping up down there, but Hutch will have the football deep in their own territory.
And now the Dragon offense that has not moved the football at all in the third quarter is going to have to do something to tip field position back their way, because they have right now the poor side of that, as they'll start this drive after the injured player is tended to. Hutchinson will start this drive at its own 3-yard line.
Well, we talked about the quarterback situation, and Brandon George got hurt. He won't return to this game, and he was the second-string quarterback. Coach Rhodes thought, he and Mason Shucker had been the best of the 5 to 6 quarterbacks they had on the roster and felt pretty good about the quarterback situation. Well, Shucker just 7 of 20 with a pick, 28 yards passing. He's kind of struggled, and the Dragons have got to find an answer back there at that position and get some stabilization. And right now, the Dragon offense is backed up inside the 5.
Well, I think they're going to have to go to the running game to try to get it out of there. I do not see the Dragons likely to throw it in this situation. Mason Shucker will take the snap standing 2 yards deep in the end zone. Hands it off, and the Dragons pound straight ahead for 2 to maybe 3 yards out to about the 6.
Hutchinson in the game, rushing for 90 yards for 104 yards. Ellsworth just 64 on the ground. Boy, you'd like to see a missed tackle here and maybe bust one for a big play.
That was Jonathan White on the carry, and let's give him just 2. We're down to a minute to play in the third quarter. Hutchinson 16-12, but in a precarious position. Shucker takes the snap, hands off. Dragons with a little bit of room to the side, and then it closes in a hurry. Nice defensive play made, and Jonathan White gets nothing.
It is tough to get outside at this level. You got by with it in high school, and kids learn that these guys are all fast, quick, athletic, and Hutchinson right now they can't get it going in the running game, and the passing game hasn't been successful, but you don't want to make a mistake down here.
It is 3rd down and 9. Obviously, a punt from this situation will come out of the end zone. And the Dragons will throw it, and they float it out to the side, and it is out of the reach of the intended receiver at the 45-yard line. Pretty well covered.
Coach Rhodes
was intended for Whitmire.
Wanted pass interference. He's barking at the official on his side, had his hands up in the air with the official on the other side. I first, at initial sight, thought there was a possibility of that occurring, but they're not going to call it. The Dragons are going to have to punt from their end zone.
Matt Jones has been pretty good. He needs a big one here.
6 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Hutchinson clinging to a 16-12 lead. They'll punt from their end zone, and you have to be careful here.
Got to get going. 5 on the shot clock, on the game clock. And
I don't think they're aware of it. We'll get a timeout. We were missing a personnel player on special teams, and that's the 2nd time that's happened in this game where somebody didn't know they were supposed to be on a unit.
So we'll take a half of a minute break. 6 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Dragons punting from deep in the end zone is where the punter will be standing when we return to Gowans.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Matt Jones has to be careful not to step on the end line of the end zone. He is standing as close to it as he can. And you might see Ellsworth sending the house here in an attempt to block this punt. They have everybody up close except for one safety back at the 45-yard line. Snap was a good one. The punt is high, but not very deep.
It hit a player from Ellsworth.
It is a scramble for it. Hutchinson says they have it, and they do at the 40-yard line.
Wow.
Well, how about that for a turnaround?
You have to be aware of where you're at on the football field. And
so we've had turnovers in this game, and right now we had Hutchinson mishandling a punt that set themselves up with terrible field position. Now Ellsworth returns the favor, and Hutchinson out of trouble with a 1st down out at the 40-yard line, still hanging on to a 4-point lead. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter in 1 minute.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt & Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Well, the Dragons, after getting a great break as they were punting out of their own end zone, and it is mishandled. Hutchinson gets it out at the 40-yard line. Let's see if they can do something with it. A precarious 4-point lead for the Dragons. And a fake throw to the left side and taking it to the right side, trying to get to the edge, but not able to do so was Aaron Collins. No gain once again.
Yeah, right now Hutchinson is not fooling anybody offensively, and I'm not sure what the Dragons do to get it turned around.
Neither of these teams have been able to fool the other team's offense. Defense.
Go ahead, Clint.
It's been a classic first game defense shines for both teams.
So it is a second down and 10. How many times have I said and 10 on these down situations? A bunch. Dragons go with a misdirection play, throw it over the middle, and get a big completion all the way down to the 38-yard line. There was all sorts of things happening on that, but the net effect was that the Dragons get a pass completion over the middle, and a man who caught the pass, and I'd like to tell you who it is. It's Jagway, number 1, and he is down. Probably a cramp again.
Well, on that play, you saw 2 misdirection handoffs, and it froze the backers. That opened the middle of the field, and finally, that was a perfect call against the aggressive defense, and I'm not sure why we haven't tried to do a little more of that, because they've been selling out on most plays, but that was a great call against that particular defensive set.
Jagway's first catch of the game was a big one. Dragons with a 4-point lead, and Glenn, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like if the Dragons could get a touchdown here, I'd feel pretty confident.
Make a difference. Jagway gets up limping a little bit, but he's able to run it off, and he'll come off the sidelines. You know, new coaching staff by way of the 9 assistants to Ryan Rhodes, 6 are brand new, first-year coaches for him this year. Offensive coordinator Roderick Taylor is out of Langston University. He went 10-1 last year in NAIA football.
All right, let's see if the Dragons can do something with it. Moments ago, they were punting out of their end zone. Now they're 38 yards from adding to their point total. Quarterback continues to be Mason Shucker. 2 wideouts right, 1 left. Single back to on the left hip of the Hutchinson quarterback.
Movement.
And flags fly.
Right tackle moved too quickly that time. That's going to cost Hutchinson 5 yards, another penalty. And that was one of the team captains, Paulton Fears.
Stood up, probably a pass play, getting back in pass protection.
And that'll be the 9th penalty. Hutchinson with 4 in the first half, so 5 second-half penalties basically in the first quarter here of the second half, and that stings a little bit.
First down and 15.
Makes it tough. Right after you get a big play and you start to get some momentum.
Well, let's see what the Dragons can do. They've got 4 downs to work with, and quarterback wants to throw, loads it up, throws it downfield. It is broken up and almost intercepted at the 10-yard line.
Quarterback was just pounded right when he threw. Probably didn't get a step into it as much as he wanted, but they had the safety over the top again. It was double coverage, and this young quarterback continuing to pick targets where there's some double coverage instead of maybe going for some of those one-on-one matchups.
And it is a second down and 15. Still 13:37 to go in this football game. Dragons have not scored in the second half. Only 3 points have been scored in the second half. That a field goal by the visitors. Dragons again go with misdirection. This time the handoff is up the middle and down to the 38-yard line. That was Desmond Jackson that wound up with it.
He's been the best of the Dragon running backs, in my opinion. 9th carry, he's at about 58 yards rushing, and this guy's averaging about 6.5 yards a carry.
His 3rd down and 9, not in field goal range.
And if you don't get it here, you probably punt and let your defense keep doing what they've been doing.
Shucker,
plenty of time.
Wants to throw, throws it underneath. It's broken up. Nice play defensively by Marcello Judge. Anticipated the route, broke it up, and the Dragons will have to punt.
Thought he should have had a pick 6. He's over on the 50-yard line. He did 10 push-ups saying, that's my fault, should have had that. And, guys, Shuckman right now is 8 out of 24 with a pick for 50 yards, running along at about 33% completion rate. You got to have that up around 55 to 60% at least.
And the Dragons again will call on Matt Jones to punt it down inside the 15.
These defenses have been good.
I got too much of this one. I think that's going to go in the end zone. And it does. So the ball on the touchback will come out to the 20. 12:49 to go in the football game. And once again, Ellsworth with the football and a chance to take the lead if they score a touchdown.
16-12, Hutchinson. Ryan Rhodes 10 yards out on the field, barking last-minute instructions out to his defense. They have been stellar. Asked once again to get a stop and try to preserve a lead. We thought this Dragon offense this year might be a little more efficient. It's just the first game, but it looks so much like it did last year so far.
Yeah, it has been a frustrating night for the offense, no question.
And the official's going to blow things dead, and I think that...
timeout, or what is it?
They're going to get everybody situated here.
Illegal sub.
All right, that's big for Hutchinson. That is penalty number 9 against Iowa, and we'll put them in one of those 1st and 15s. And when you're struggling offensively like both these units, 1st and 15 is tough to climb out of.
It might take a pick 6 for the Dragons to get that touchdown we've been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, and we would love to see it here.
Ball thrown quickly out in the left flat and then fumbled out of bounds. I'm not sure whether they'll rule that a catch and a fumble.
It's going to be a gain of a yard, so obviously it was a catch and a fumble and a gain of 1, so it'll be a 2nd down and about 14.
There was no chance for a pick 6 on that one. Just
No.
a little quick give to the back, running out of the backfield.
Look for a run here.
Mark Wright gets a low snap, hands it off, and there just has been nothing here for absolutely nothing in the run game for Ellsworth. Dragons have had their moments, but nothing with any consistency. Let's call this a gain of a couple of yards. Leaves us with a 3rd down and 11.
Caleb Bryce with the tackle. Dragon defender Jalen Pant had to check off the field because his helmet popped off. We've seen a number of those instances.
Well, if you like defensive football, you've been entertained by this one. If you like offensive football, not nearly so much so. Mark Wright back to throw, 2-step drop, pressure comes, rolling to his left, throws it upfield and delivers it on the bounce to Tariq Young. Incomplete pass, 4th down and punt time.
Quarterback that time was dumped, and you know what? That's because big old number 44, Jalen Pickney, was there and flattened the quarterback, couldn't step into the throw. It was nowhere close to the receiver, and guess what? Another punt in the football game. We've seen more punts in this game than, my goodness.
And it'll be Whitmire, Marquise Whitmire, back in safety. That's been Irwin in the past, but he's had cramps. He also mishandled the last punt. So this time it's Whitmire.
Just make sure you cleanly catch this football and then go from there.
Amundsen, as the punter, gets a low snap, picks it up. Dragons can't get to it. Short punt, going to go out of bounds on the opponent's side of the 50. Hutchinson should get it about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, in their territory.
Now, you would normally say this is a great position to march down, score a touchdown, take control of the game. But a march in this game has been 10, 15 yards.
222 yards offense for Hutch, 211 for Ellsworth, Iowa. And yards have been tough to come by. Glenn, is this the series we get some points?
Maybe so. There's got to be some wearing down here, and we were talking about the defense switching out for the Blue Dragons. You got to think that that Ellsworth team, Coach Gooch talked about how not very many players, they got to be getting a little tired.
Shucker has been the quarterback most of the way. Brandon George threw a touchdown in the first half, was injured, has not returned, and will not tonight. Ball floated downfield, intended for Irwin, pretty well covered and out of his reach.
Yep, single coverage, I like that. He just led the receiver that time by about 5 yards. So Shucker now 8 of 25 in the passing game. And, on 1st down, worth taking a shot.
Yeah, Irwin kind of floated inside a little bit, and the ball went to the outside shoulder. And good coverage out there as well.
Sure was.
Marcello Judge had him well under control. Again, it's 2nd down, 10. Dragons will throw.
Wide open.
In the middle of the field, caught at the 30-yard line, taken down to the 23-yard line. And the Dragons get a big play on the throw to Cephas Smith. He's a young man from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Might be the most wide open we've seen a Dragon receiver here in the second half. They were running free in the first half, and we missed some throws. But that time he was wide open.
Football at the 24-yard line. Now 11:45 to go in this game. Still Hutchinson 16, Ellsworth, Iowa 12.
Maybe you pound them on the ground now. Nope.
Going to throw it again. Throw it underneath. Catch made. Nice job of running with the ball after making the catch. Still on his feet. That is a heck of a play by Aaron Collins. Caught the ball underneath at about the 21-yard line. By the time they wrestled him to the turf, he was inside the 10.
Great effort. 11 more yards, guys.
You bet. Glenn's Sideline Reports brought to you by Jackson Meat and Hutchinson, and back-to-back great plays by the offense. Now, can you finish off the drive and put this game away?
Put it down at the 9-yard line. It's an end goal situation from the 9. And breaking to the outside, trying to find room to turn the corner and doing so. And into the end zone, just inside the right pylon. That is another outstanding run by Aaron Collins. And the Dragons finally get the touchdown that perhaps enables them to get the game under control.
Let me tell you this, when they watch film, number 2, Marcus Whitmire will get the big star as the Dragon is down on the field. But that was a spectacular block by Whitmire, who sprung the running back, and you don't get touchdowns without players sacrificing and blocking like that.
And we've got an injured Blue Dragon on the play.
Yeah, Jason Toussette, he went down right away during the touchdown run, and he's in a lot of pain out there right now.
Boy, we've seen a number of injuries, a lot of cramps. We've already had
this is
quarterback.
Not a cramp, I don't think.
A little bit more than that. Big touchdown, guys. 22-12. Extra point would make it 23-12. We've already had a win by Independence tonight, and already had a win by Iowa Western over Coffeyville tonight.
What was that Indy final, Glenn?
38-20.
Dodge came back.
Over Dodge City, but
yeah,
it was fully controlled by Indy, so that'll be the opponent for the Blue Dragons next week.
And we expected, I think, things to go just like they did. Coffeyville put up a good fight. There's a lot of good football teams in this conference. And Hutchinson, I'm impressed defensively. They've shown some glimpses on special teams, or maybe starting to click here on offense, and it would be the right time to do it.
Toussaint being helped off the football field.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right. He's under somewhat of his own power. Looks like he's limping on that right knee, maybe.
He is the starting right guard for the Dragons on their offensive line. Big-time player. And the backup is Demarius Warren, who I assume will come out if the Dragons get the football again and replace him.
Dragons will try to tack on the extra point. Sebastian Garcia to do the honors. This to make it 23-12 with 10:58 to play. Dragons looking for their 11th straight win and an opener, and the extra point is good. So Hutchinson by 11. Under 11 minutes to go in the game, and we return with more after this.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
A big touchdown, and the Dragons have shown us a couple of backs that have been impressive. Desmond Jackson has been impressive. I think Aaron Collins maybe even more so.
I don't know, Rusty. Jackson has averaged 6.7 yards a carry. Collins just 3.6. Keep in mind, Collins has caught 3 passes out of the backfield, and those have been impressive, but they've both been pretty good from the back position.
Kickoff floats down to the 5-yard line, and Dragons with outstanding kick coverage, and they're able to drag down the kickoff return inside the 20, maybe even inside the 15.
That was a spectacular play that time. That was, I think, Ronald Williams for the Dragons.
Got a good job, got a hold of him and just drove him back, pulled him down as he was doing so, and they'll mark his forward progress at the 17.
We had some leaks in that kickoff coverage in the first half. They kind of cleaned it up here in the second half, and that was good.
That was Tariq Young on the return, but the Dragons with great coverage that time. And now maybe a little bit of urgency on the part of Ellsworth. They now trail by 2 scores. And flags again. Illegal substitution on the offense.
That's delay a game, I think.
Excuse me.
Yeah, delay a game, and that is the 10th penalty. 10 penalties for Ellsworth, 9 for Hutchinson. Guys, that's 19 times the flag has been thrown.
You got to cut those in half by the second week.
Wow.
First down, 15 now at the 12. They move Young back into the backfield, give him the ball, and the Dragons this time are not fooled by that maneuver, and they stop Young for perhaps a loss of a couple of yards, maybe 3 yards.
That was L.T. Eichner getting penetration 41, and
yeah, he goes down with a cramp.
Yeah, he's down with a cramp.
Hey, while they're attending to it, I was talking about Roderick Taylor coming from Langston University. You know who one of the most famous Langston University players ever was, back in the 70s? Thomas Hollywood Henderson played linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, very familiar name. I couldn't tell, Glenn, if that was 40 or 41.
41.
Okay,
yeah.
So it was Eichner. He's had a good game.
While they tend to the cramping Dragon, let's take a break. We'll return in half a minute.
Says you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
If you've ever had cramps, you know how miserable they can be. And once you get them, it seems like every time you bend that leg, flex that muscle at all, you've got another one. Quarterback rolling right, throws underneath, and the Dragons surround the receiver with about 5 blue jerseys, and there is absolutely nowhere whatsoever for Julian Coates to go.
Yep,
and it's another loss.
I just saw a sandwich. I saw bread on both ends and some mayonnaise in the middle right there. They squashed him big time.
Yeah. If there was ever a play that was going nowhere, that was it.
Well, 3rd down, long situation here. Just don't let anything behind you.
Under 10 minutes to play in the game. Low snap. Wright wants to run with it and gets it out to the 14. That might enable the punter to not have to stand in the end zone, but it's far short of first down yardage, and the Dragons should get the ball back kind of with the game a little bit under control for the first time in this game at 23-12.
Ellsworth, there is an Ellsworth, Iowa, but that's not where Ellsworth is. It's at Iowa Falls, just about 17 miles from Ellsworth off of Interstate 35 north of Des Moines. Beautiful little town.
You played up there in the mud a year ago.
Yeah, mud a year ago. It's nice, really nice little town.
All right, let's see what the Dragons can do with it. The punter actually will stand in the end zone, about a yard deep. It's Amundsen. And for the Blue Dragons, Irwin back in safety.
Timeout,
but before that, a timeout. 9:09 to go, 23-12. More coming up.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name-brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
9:09. That's the time. Hutchinson 23, Ellsworth 12. Dragons should get the football. Waiting, Jalen Irwin. He stands at the 45 of Ellsworth. Amundsen is the punter. He stands one step deep into the end zone. And here we go. Snap is okay. Dragons don't put any pressure on, trying to set up a return. Irwin will let it bounce, and it takes a whale of a bounce for Ellsworth down to the Hutchinson 34. And that time Irwin taking no chance on trying to handle a dangerous to handle punt. Just got out of the way.
Well, there's 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You lead 23-12. Don't do anything silly, and silly would be muffing a return there and turning the ball over. So you send the offense out on the field. They finally had some success that last series and got things to click. Now you build on that and see if you can continue here. Dragons 263 yards of offense, and a big portion of that coming on that last series. Let's see if we can't continue.
Quarterback most of the way has been Mason Shucker. Did have a touchdown pass thrown by Brandon George in the first half. Dragons throw it out in the right flat, complete the pass, and pretty close to a first down.
And that's what I talk about, Glenn, building on success.
Yeah.
And right there, 9-10 yards.
Yep, 9-10, little dumps. Nice little pass to the outside there, picked up about 9 yards.
Funny how quarterbacks start to get confidence. You complete a few balls, have some things go right, and you just build on it and continue. Young quarterback in Shucker, and he's going to grow up as he gets each snap and reads these defenses.
Marquise Whitmire, a little bit shy of the first down, got about 9.5 on the pass completion. So second and very short. Shucker gets a snap, hands it off, and the Dragons pick up the first down on the ground.
Just what you want, guys. Clock continues to tick. Ellsworth only has one timeout left. We're under 9 minutes to play. You lead 23-12 in this contest. Hadn't been pretty, hasn't been easy, but you know what? You'll take a win any way you can get it in this conference.
Jonathan White on the carry. Ball now out at the 47, still on the Hutchinson half of the field. Shucker back to throw this time. Pressure comes, throws it out, completes it at the 50-yard line, and down to the 43 with a business-like catch and reception for Hutchinson goes Isaiah Salam.
Almost like a different team, Glenn, here now in the last quarter, isn't it?
Well, he's getting some confidence. You touched on that a little bit. Lazy passes to the outside. Nice job by the receivers to hang on and get a little substitution right there and just take care of business. Take that clock up.
Yep, take what the defense gives you, and they're giving you those out passes.
Also a possibility that these teams are getting a little tired. The defense not quite as sharp, perhaps. But I prefer to think it's a better job by the Hutchinson quarterback and his receiving corps. And now the Dragons go to the run, and that is Jackson, and he'll get one, but he'll also take about 30-40 seconds off the clock.
Another thing that's important, that offensive line is starting to gain some confidence as well, not just the quarterback, but the offensive line. So Chiefs' third preseason game this weekend, Rob?
That's right. They'll play coming up on, is it Saturday?
Saturday game, yep. And then Dragon Talk coming up on Monday night with you and Coach Rhodes at
6 to 6:30.
Second down, 8. Dragons go to Jackson, and Jackson keeps his wheels spinning and able to pick up a couple of yards after it looked like the play would come to a halt. Takes it down to the 35-yard line, 2 yards shy of a first down.
11th carry. He's got 65 yards in the game. Aaron Collins, 16 carries for 58 yards. I think you're going to see a lot of those, too, as long as they can stay healthy.
Third down and 2. This is the kind of yardage that you need to pick up to sustain drives.
Blitz coming.
Blitz coming. Dragons won't get it. Jackson trapped.
It's a bad handoff, guys. Somehow between the quarterback and running back, they didn't get a good exchange, and that messed up the timing of the play. You're going to lose yardage. If I'm Coach Rhodes now, I lead 23-12. I'll let this thing go down to about 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, maybe even take a delay of game penalty.
Sure. Do whatever you want here.
You're going to punt it. You got a punter that can kick it a lot farther than 33 yards or so that it is to, or the 37 yards that it is to the end zone.
But don't snap this until it's inside of 5 seconds.
And it's at about 12 right now.
Jones has done a great job punting. This one he kicks high, which is what he wanted, but he got it off the side of his foot, and they'll have to line it up, and that's going to be effectively a very short punt. As the line of scrimmage was the 37-yard line, they're going to put it down at the 21. So just 16 yards on the punt, but obviously no return.
Yep. Coach Rhodes out on the field, clapping, trying to get his defense pumped up. I'm going to tell you, when you talk to him, Glenn, he has to be ecstatic about the way that defense played tonight.
Defense played well. Linebackers were a question. They played well.
They did. Secondary with 4 picks in the game.
Wright is the quarterback. Wants to throw, has time, steps up in the pocket, throws in the middle of the field, got a receiver, had a step but couldn't get it on target. Looking once again for Jordan Foster. Pretty well covered, but a well-thrown ball would have gotten it to him.
Yeah, that's Kelvin Clemens, Glenn. I'd like to see him on the inside of that guy instead of on the outside looking in. Well-thrown ball there. That's a completion.
You're exactly right. Later next week, both sports teams will be on the road as the high school opens their campaign at Friends University, taking on Wichita West Pioneers on Friday. Blue Dragons down at Independence on Saturday night.
Wright throws, delivers it out in the flat, catch made. No gain. As a matter of fact, a loss of 3 or 4 yards. Was able to get it to Jordan Perry, but Perry with nowhere to go.
Latrell Bankston absolutely flattened the quarterback, and I can tell you, he's getting tired of getting knocked down, getting back up. He is a tired young man.
3rd down and a whole lot. 3rd down, 13. Wright back to throw, now rolling to his left, looking downfield, throws it as hard as he can, has a receiver, and it is called in at the 40-yard line of Hutch.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Broken up.
Well, got broken up at the last minute.
It wouldn't have mattered because the same guy who made an unbelievable play last time on defense, Latrell Bankston, was absolutely hogtied by the offensive lineman. It was as blatant a hold as you will ever see in your life, and Hutchinson is going to decline that, and it'll be a 4th down situation. I mean, he took the helmet off of him as he hog-tied him and threw him to the ground.
An explanation of why there wasn't a flag on that, because he thinks he should be able to stay in the game even though his helmet came off because it was yanked off of it.
Well, yeah, but I think they might be talking about whether you want to accept the penalty or decline.
It was holding, but he was wondering, why did you let him pull the helmet off of it?
He sure did.
It's going to be a punt situation once again for the Iowans. 5:04 to go. 23-12. This game that kicked off at 7 a.m. is now 3 minutes.
7 a.m.?
It seemed like it. How about 7 p.m.?
That's
it's
right.
3 hours and 4 minutes in duration to here.
You can't play a football game anymore any less than 3.5 hours.
Punts off, decent. Dragons will just get out of the way. Bounces straight up in the air. Hutchinson again will have good field position on the Ellsworth half of the field.
Well, you're in a situation now with 5 minutes to go. You lead 23-12. You're going to hand the ball off, hand it off again, hope to get a 1st down, and hand it off some more. No chances here. Hold on to the football. No reason that this game isn't in the win column for you. You just have to take care of business.
And it will be 11 straight successes in season openers for this Blue Dragon football team that has high hopes for this football season. Dragons have been 5-6, 5-6, and 7-5 the last 3 years. An uptick last year on the positive side of things. But the Dragons would like to return to those years where they won 10, 11, 12 games a season. We'll see whether they have that kind of talent. They throw it out in the right flat, and it's hauled in. Safe pass. Dragons don't do a whole lot with it. Get a pickup of a yard or so from Isaiah Salam.
Well, I figured there would be a handoff, and safe pass out there, and caught it. Clock continues to move, and that's what you want. Just don't throw any incompletions there.
If you like the southeast portion of the country, then you maybe want to become a recruiter for the Blue Dragons, because when you look at this Hutchinson roster, it is just filled with player after player after player from that section of the country. Now the Dragons go with a run and a big hole. Breaking to the outside at the 30, at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Dragon touchdown.
Wow.
What a job by Aaron Collins. But what a job by the offensive line as they created a huge hole for Collins to slip through. And now the Dragons in complete control at 29-12.
Lights go on for the Hutchinson police car that is parked just underneath the scoreboard here at Gowans Stadium. Police like it. Dragons fans like it. And we have a stoppage and play again.
Yeah, I got another player down. Clear down at the end zone down there. Could have been who scored the touchdown. We'll have to double check it. But 46 yards on the run.
Touchdown was scored by Aaron Collins. You'll talk about the police cars down at the north end. The game tonight recognizing first responders, and certainly the Hutchinson Police Department would fall importantly into that category.
And it was a great gesture by the college. All first responders admitted free. You simply had to wear your uniform or show your badge, and you got in free to this game. And there was a great crowd here for opening night as the injured Dragon runs off the field. He's fine.
Jalen Irwin. I would say, based on my recollection over the last 3 or 4 years, this crowd was as good, maybe bigger than any crowd we've seen in any of the last 3 or 4 seasons.
No, it's encouraging. We want fans to come out and watch this football team.
Extra point is up, and now it is 30-12. Blue Dragons are going to get a win on opening night. The Hutchinson Kickoff next on the agenda.
When you have kids in school, there are lots of things to remember and keep track of, like school physicals and sports physicals, and the very important immunizations. So to you and your children, welcome to Prairie Star Health Center, whether you have insurance or not. Pediatrician David Smith wants to make sure your children stay healthy. He's here for you at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
Well, the Dragons won a tight game over Ellsworth in the mud up in Iowa a year ago. Tonight, on a perfect night in Gowans Stadium, the Dragons will pick up a considerably more comfortable win, although this game stayed tight all the way into the early fourth quarter. Squib kick on the kickoff just to ensure no big return. There wasn't much of one, but there is a late flag tossed.
Well, surprise there as Ellsworth has 10 penalties, Hutchinson with 9 in the game. That would be another, it appears, on this football team.
Looks like it's going to be against
personal
Ellsworth.
Foul.
Yep.
Ellsworth, and that's going to cost them.
That's one of those penalties that come after a game that was tight for so long, all of a sudden isn't. And reality strikes that we're not going to win this football game anymore. And it'll cost the Iowans 15 yards back to the 29.
Rob, we would be amiss if we did not talk about the years of service that we've shared with Mr. Hilst.
That is correct. Rusty Hills, this broadcast year in 2018 is a milestone. It is the 50th.
Golden anniversary.
Pretty spectacular.
Ball thrown over the middle and caught out at the 35-yard line. Thank you, guys. It was Tariq Young. And I want to dispel a rumor. It is not true. It is not true that I stowed away on the ark.
But there is some debate about it.
There's some debate, and Moses said he knew you, so
we're still debating it.
Yeah, but Noah will vouch that I wasn't on the ark.
There was a stick, Rusty, as we were talking about your 50 years. You wouldn't have been around 50 years if you took a hit like that from Clarence Hicks, who just lowered the boom.
If I'd taken a hit like that, I would have found another game quickly.
That's right.
That's why he played golf for so many years. So.
We've called Hicks' name a lot. He's physical and has really done a good job from his backer spot. Looking forward to talking to Coach Rhodes Monday night about him and a bunch of others.
3rd down and 9. Wright wants to throw, throws it over the middle, has a first down. I tell you, he has a couple of good receivers on this team. Tariq Young and that catch by Jordan Foster. Foster's had a whole bunch of grabs in this game. That'll move the chains, but not nearly enough time for Ellsworth to get back in this one.
Kelvin Clemens, number 4, has had a tough time covering him and He's given up some yardage in the secondary.
Wright rolling to his left, wants to throw, runs out of time, and coming up quickly off the corner for the Blue Dragons is Monty Montgomery, putting an exclamation point on what has been an outstanding game.
He might be defensive player of the game. He's had that kind of impact. Number 10 has been special. There's been at least 5 or 6 Blue Dragons that have been really, really good defensively.
When you said that kind of impact, was that a pun?
Yes.
Right to throw. In the pocket. Now rolling left. Oh, McGinnis back. Somehow Wright avoids that, but he's still got all kinds of Blue Dragons surrounding him, and out of bounds he goes for a big loss on the play.
How much beating, Glenn, can a quarterback
take? Well, I
take?
don't know, but that was Monty Montgomery again on the first hit.
Gee, many Christmas. And he somehow managed to stay on his feet. And then another Dragon popped him, and we've got 2 Dragons with helmets off.
Yeah.
They're going to have to come off the field.
We got trainers out on the field to make sure everybody's okay.
Rusty, I just got a text. Somebody wanted to know if you used crank phones back in the day on the wall to call ball games with or not.
I can't remember.
Okay.
I might have, but I just don't remember.
No, there wasn't a rotary dial, or might have been those 3 rings and 2 longs and 3 shorts, and
that was a party line.
No, it wasn't. Think about it for
before
a second.
the party line.
And this is, in all seriousness, I can remember living out in Meade when I was just a kid.
And there was another.
And you would pick up the phone, and you literally would crank it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd say, the operator would actually answer. You'd say, "Give me 613." And sometimes there's sometimes there's somebody on the line. Things have changed just a
little bit. Another Dragon coming off the field with a cramp.
But I'll say this, there weren't any of those phones in my classroom like there are cell phones now.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, let's don't get started on that topic.
2 minutes to go in this game. Fortunately, we've had a lot of stoppage for injury, but they've almost all been cramps.
I'm thinking we're going to...
those are easily dealt with just by increased electrolytes. Sometimes water will do it. 3rd down and a bunch. Right to throw. Oh, that's a new quarterback, and he puts up a rainbow that is thrown out of bounds. That throw was by Byron Jarrett. It is 4th down and somewhere in the vicinity of 25 yards to go. And with 1:47, this game is rapidly coming to a close.
Well, the Blue Dragon that time, Damari Gibbons was saying, "I need to come out, I'm tired," and they threw their hands in the air and said, "Get back out there, you still got more energy, you can still play."
The good thing for the Blue Dragons, other than the injury to Brandon George in the first half, and that one has the potential to be a serious problem, I think most of the others maybe not nearly so serious. Punt is angled to the right and won't be returned. Dragons won't play again until a week from Saturday, so they'll have some healing time. But what a challenge they'll face, as the Blue Dragons will be at Independence. Now, that game at Independence a year ago came during Newalla and didn't kick off until after 9 o'clock. This one will be a considerably earlier kick time, 7 o'clock. We'll be there. Hope a lot of you folks will make the trip to Indy with the Blue Dragons, and if you don't go, please join us. We'll have the broadcast for you, starting with countdown to kickoff at 6:30.
We've got a new quarterback under center now, Rusty, and I can't see the number. It might be the transfer from Tennessee.
Well, we'll try to pick up the number. He's not going to do anything spectacular, just hand off, and the Dragons will run out the clock.
Nolan Arrington from Fayetteville, Georgia, freshman. They say his upside might be as good as anyone on the Dragon roster, but he's still raw.
6'1", 190. Now, when you talk about quarterbacks in this conference, there's definitely an advantage to having some height. And Blue Dragon starting quarterback Mason Shucker is 6'4", should be able to see the field a little bit better.
It's ideal, really is.
But all the Dragons are going to do here is just simply hand the football off, and neither team's going to have any reason to stop it, but there's going to be a penalty that'll stop it.
Might have been movement on the Dragons.
I'm
not sure.
This is going to be a penalty against the Hutchinson offense. But, guys, one thing they're going to talk to their quarterbacks about, and the reason that Brandon George has left this game, false start on Hutchinson, is he lowered his shoulder and tried to pick up a yard. And as a quarterback, I know you want to do that, but at this level, you've got to slide, get down, live to play another down. And there was a perfect example of that in the first half, and you can't have any more of that going forward.
I want to remind everybody that upon the conclusion of this game, we'll take a 2-minute break and come back. And pretty early on the post-game agenda will be Glenn's visit with Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes.
Yeah, he'll be happy about a lot of things. And, you know, you really grow up as a football team from week 1 to week 2. A lot of things to work at. You've got tape, film, things that you can show the kids and say this is what it's like in this conference, what you got to do to get to the next level. And a lot of learning goes on this week in practice.
Dragons will have to snap it probably.
Official needs to pick his flag up.
2 more times.
Figures that out.
Dragons go with a straight handoff and a little bit of running room, angling off to the left side.
New running back.
New running back for Hutchinson in the game. That is Drake Bolus. He's from Gray, Georgia.
Freshman.
Guy.
Yeah.
5'9".
Nice run. Was hit initially, kept the feet churning, and got about 4 extra yards.
And it'll be interesting to get Coach Rhodes' perspective on
that
this
should
game.
Do it.
Dragons won't have to snap it again. The seconds tick away, and you can put a big 1 in the left-hand ledger for the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson 1-0 as they handle Ellsworth, Iowa, 30-12. We'll take a 2-minute break. Be back with postgame.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
This is Carter File, President of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's